Good morning, everybody. Welcome back from a long 4th of July weekend for a lot of folks. Hope you enjoyed your vacation. Today, the Mike Missanelli Show with Amy Fadul. What's up, Aim?
Hey, happy 4th.
How was your 4th of July?
It was great.
All right?
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good.
I was
at
fireworks
work.
with the kids?
Yeah, I was at, we did the Phillies game, pre and post for that, and then we were able to get home and watch some fireworks out there near Chesterbrook, Whistling Fun Park.
That's awesome. Fireworks are awesome for a lot of people. I like them.
I like them.
But I feel bad when I watch them.
Tell me more.
I do. I feel bad when I watch the fireworks because it's such a waste of money. It's like
it is because it is so
putting
expensive.
a bonfire and like $50,000 on it.
It's so expensive.
It's
Even
crazy.
More so, yeah. I like the drone shows.
What are the drone shows?
So the Phillies have done it. The Eagles have done it where they kind of like light up these little drones and it looks like, you know, it'll have the Fanatic, it'll have Phillies, it'll have a guy batting, Bryce Harper, stuff like that, in addition to. But I still like things that blow up, even though it's expensive.
You know, I was at the beach watching them on the beach, and they towed that big barge out there and fire them off. And I can't help but think, like, the small communities that do the fireworks, I go, boy, wouldn't it be nice if they put, like, municipal services and they spent that money? But
Yeah,
like, I was thinking, and I go, wait a minute, am I un-American? Is it un-American to think that way?
No,
because
it's
it means
realistic.
it means so much for people's psyche to see the fireworks and their joy and excitement with their kids. Is that worth the price of it?
I think so.
All right. Well, that's not the big story today.
It's not.
No, the big story.
There's fireworks in a different way.
Yeah, it's Zach Wheeler. You know, I love to watch pitchers who take it's like an art for them. It's like a craft. And this guy is just, it's phenomenal. And I can't, every time I watch him, I can't stop thinking about how I used to feel when I used to watch Roy Halladay. It's just precision. And he's got he's got an arsenal of so many things that the hitter, these are professional hitters. They have no chance when he's right.
Not even close. It was, you mentioned it, art. It was a masterpiece. That was an absolute stunning masterpiece yesterday.
I mean, he's got stuff that you have no idea what he's going to throw. He's got like a variety. He's got 5 different pitches he can throw. You are death against that high fastball. You cannot get on top of the high fastball because you know it's not going to come. You never know when it's going to come. He's got breaking stuff in. He's got breaking stuff away. And then all of a sudden he hits you with that high fastball above the zone and you can't catch up to it. It's phenomenal.
Well, it was interesting. You know what? We were watching along and the fastest pitch he threw was the bottom of the 8th inning. 97 mile an hour.
He was
fastball.
jacked.
Like, that's incredible.
And here's the thing. I'll give Rob Thompson credit. He was at 100 pitches going into the 9th inning. He threw 8 pitches in the 9th, which is good. He said he would have extended him to 115. Yeah. He only had 7 more pitches to close that out.
And
right?
I'm assuming that Wheeler knew what his pitch limit was.
I don't know because he said, I'm going out there, I want to finish it. But I got to give Rob Thompson credit because normally at 100 you go, okay, somebody can close this out for him.
Right.
But he knew it meant a lot to the pitcher himself. It meant a lot to the people watching. And he said, you know, this is what I like about Rob Thompson. He feels it like he respects a player's will.
Right. And it was funny because I think Zach Wheeler said after the game, like, I told him I was fine, and I told him I was probably lying to him, too. And I think Topper knows that. Like, Rob Thompson knows that he wanted to finish it. But it's not something you see a lot. No one does that anymore.
No, this leads me to
complete games.
You do not. And this leads me to 2 questions. Because I see social media was buzzing about it. And they say, is Zach Wheeler the best free agent signing ever in this city? And I go, well, it's tough to say that on the heels of Saquon Barkley.
Right.
You know, like what Saquon Barkley did was all-time-ish. Right? Wheeler has been consistently good, but can he surpass?
I mean, he's been a Cy Young candidate, 3 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Zach Wheeler, I mean, it's close. It's a consideration just because, I mean, obviously Saquon Barkley setting a record and flirting with, you know, these insane numbers is impressive. And the fact they won the the Super Bowl. If, you know, Zach Wheeler gets him to the World Series, then I think that he would surpass him.
Maybe. I don't know. What Saquon did is, you know, never going to be repeated. But if he throws a no-hitter in the postseason, that'll be change the landscape. Like Halladay. That's why I can't put him above Halladay because of that one thing. But let me ask this other question here. If you had one big game to win, and you could throw Wheeler, Halladay, or Kurt Schilling, who are you throwing?
I'm throwing Roy Halladay.
You are throwing Roy Halladay.
I mean, that guy was a mission. And I think the similarities are there as far as the mentality.
Uh-huh.
Roy Halladay was a machine.
Yes, he was.
He would have complete games, and then he would go work out. Like, he was an absolute iceman out there. And I just,
You would go with him.
I would.
Even though Schilling has that track record
So does
of
Roy
big
Halladay.
games. Yeah, I guess Roy Halladay does. As many as
no-hitter.
Schilling? That's pretty close.
It's close.
Brendan Grunn's our producer today. Brendan?
I think I'm going Roy Halladay on that one as well. I think his mountaintop, his peak is a little bit better than Zach Wheeler. I think the argument for Wheeler is that his dominance has been stretched out a longer period of time, but I don't know if it's gotten as high as Roy Halladay. Kurt Schilling, I remember from the Diamondbacks era and the Red Sox as well, and he had ice in his veins. He would go out there, the sock game, whether it was real blood or not, we don't know to this day, but he won the game. He went out there and dominated. To me, I'm leaning Roy Halladay because I remember him as a Philly opposed to Kurt Schilling as another team.
I remember, but Schilling was the series MVP and didn't even get a decision.
That's
against
absurd.
Against the
that's
Braves.
crazy.
That's
So,
nuts.
Yeah, he was pretty phenomenal in the postseason.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
got
mean,
that edge, too.
this is just food for thought for the people out there. Let me just bring this up here. There are a lot of things that I don't understand as far as booze go. And
You're talking about the anti-cheer, not actual alcohol.
right,
Okay.
not booze,
I was like,
B-O-O-Z,
I've got
B-O-O-S.
I've got a real
Right.
educational
I don't
situation
understand why fans boo on an attempted pickoff. I never got that at all. Like if against your team, if somebody tries to throw it to first base,
Because if it was the alternative, you would never. If it was our pitcher, throwing
right?
it, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't understand why fans would boo Austin Hayes yesterday
He was not.
because he was disappointing.
Yeah.
But he was
And
also
the poor
he
guy
was
had
also-
like a kidney
That's
infection.
right. He was,
Like he
he
in
was
the
hurt. He
hospital.
was hurt, and he was sick.
Yeah,
Does he not get a pass?
Yeah, he wasn't just hurt. I mean, he was like in the hospital. It was bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's almost like you should just be nothing.
Right.
Just
And
be
here's-
happy that he's out there.
And here's the big thing I don't understand, and this is what I want to address with people today. Castellanos, on July 4th, Castellanos got in with a little jawing with a fan. The fan apparently was ripping into Bryson Stott. They lost the game. Now, this team is going to lose 70-plus games probably this year. Maybe not. Maybe 70. Whatever. A loss is a loss. In a baseball season, a loss is not that devastating to the point where a fan should jaw with a player. I do not understand people. Can you explain this to me? Who was the idiot that would jaw with the Phillies players after a solo loss on a July 4th?
It was interesting because when we're watching it, it was as the guy they were saying goodbye on the broadcast. You could tell whoever it was had like called out names, and that's what got the players' attention. It wasn't just a boo. It was like probably something very specific and very like personal, like "Hey Nick, hey Bright." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's always very confusing to me because what is the end game? What do you want at the end of it?
Is it alcohol fueled all the time, or are you just an ass?
Well, people are angry. People are an angry group. We've all driven. We've all driven on
Why
the
would they be angry? You lost one game in a 162-game season.
I think there's other reasons, and they need their joy. And when you take their joy away with a loss,
The loss took their joy away to the extent where you want to
For
jaw with the
some
player.
people.
I would need to understand the mentality. I'm here to grow, Amy. I know I always wanted personal growth.
Personal
I
growth.
want to
I
learn.
don't think this is a growth moment. I
I
think
want
this
to
is just,
learn from people. What is it that gets? What's the payoff for you to do something like that?
Yeah.
Now, listen, I'm not a big Castellanos fan. He shouldn't have rabbit ears. He should ignore it. I get it, but I don't understand the mentality of a fan doing that in the first place.
I just don't know what the end game is. So say you call out whomever, in this case Nick Castellanos or Bryson Stott. Do you want them to turn around and be like, "Hey, well, here's what I saw"? Like, did that make you feel better? No, you just want to yell, and I think that's always kind of strange to me.
It's very peculiar. So if you have any answers for us,
Or if you were that person.
or if you were that person, I would listen. I
Call
would
on it.
love to have a counseling session with you. You can counsel me just as much as I'm going to try to attempt to counsel you on what it is that enrages you so much that you would have to get it. You would have to rip into somebody on your hometown team. I just do not
After
get
one
it.
loss.
After one loss. All right, here's how you get into the show. To talk to the great Amy Fadul, you don't get many opportunities to talk to Amy. right?
See, that's
So
that's a sell.
every time she's here, this is a big opportunity for you. 610-632-0975.
No one's calling in
No, let's light up the phone lines for Amy. Phone calls for Amy today. Mike Missanelli Show continues, 97.5 The Fanatic.
We want to.
Ray Dunn is on vacation today. What is Ray doing? Brendan Gunn is in for him. You know what Ray's doing?
He was in yesterday, so
He went back down the shore.
Oh, he's down the shore.
So he came
hanging
out for a show yesterday,
Yes.
headed right back down for, I guess, 12 more
24
hours.
hours.
Like, then he's got to come back.
Was
he's
he
working tomorrow.
Oh, he is working tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm
So
with
he
him
took
tomorrow.
a kind of long weekend and took an extra day because he's probably hung over from hanging out at the Ocean Drive.
But he came back for work yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's what's
Wow, that's weird.
you're vacationing
very
wrong.
weird.
Yeah, well,
vacationing
you
road.
think Ray was in that mayhem of July 4th and on Sea Isle, on that Sea Isle block?
That
there?
looked, yeah, no, hope not.
Yes, he was. Of course he was.
He's probably safely with his
He's
house.
25 years old, Amy.
Safely in
He
his
was
house.
out there, couldn't find any sunscreen, probably coming back looking like a lobster.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely
Let me
gonna
tell
be
you something
burned.
about the show. I mean, listen, I like the Jersey Shore like everybody else, right? But on weekends like July 4th or even Memorial Day,
He's got a hunk. Oh,
why
Memorial Day.
don't I stay away?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you don't.
Why don't
People I
I stay
know
It was
away?
the most packed I've ever seen.
It's
My,
Yeah, it was bad.
It is
All the
absolutely
pictures look
crazy.
my girlfriend's family's house is the last one in Ocean City before you cross into Strathmere. The cars were parked halfway to Corson's Inlet parking lot on Bay Ave or whatever it's called. I've never seen anything like
It's
it.
nuts. And I did venture on the boardwalk. And it's like,
Brave soul.
What is wrong with me?
brave soul.
It's crazy. You can't get a parking space in Sea City. I mean, excuse me, in Ocean City for that boardwalk.
No.
You can't. You cannot find. I had to park in the municipal lot on 6th Street, and it was $20 for the municipal lot.
And you're
they
that far
charged
away.
you 20. They banged it.
Of course they did.
banged it for $20 in that
The
municipal
Halladay
lot.
rate.
Oh my God!
It's a
And
holiday
you're there
rate.
for what, an hour or two? And
Yeah.
then they're getting another $20 from somebody else
Yeah.
in a couple of hours.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So if you have any Jersey Shore stories, I'd love to hear them. It's mayhem.
It is mayhem.
I don't know if anybody actually enjoys themselves.
Oh, sure they do.
You think so?
With alcohol.
Well, yeah, you have to make the stop at either Boulevard Liquors or the one in Summers
They do.
Point before you
Comes
get
right
to Ocean
before.
City, right?
Yeah, they hit those, and then they're cursing out Bryson Stott as they walk away.
Exactly.
What the hell
Did
is
you see
going
what
on?
He did popped up his short.
Yeah, it's
Took my joy away on
I was never so glad to be back. Like, it's like there's traffic here, but it's like on the Schuylkill. I'll take Schuylkill traffic rather than the traffic down the
Yeah,
shore.
you know the people I know, they just kind of hunker down if they're living down there. They don't go out on those holidays. Memorial Day, 4th of July. No.
Yeah.
They sit on their
you
backs.
load up in
Yeah,
the Acme.
that's it. And of
both
course.
Acames. You know,
Both
one in
Acames.
Ocean City, one in Sea Isle, whichever one you go to. See, I'm in
Just load up.
Strathmere. I always said this. This is I get ripped off because
You don't
in
have
Strathmere,
yeah.
to the grocery store, you either have to go way down the Sea Isle and go through that 42nd Street
Which you're
craziness.
not going to do.
Or you got to go over the bridge and pay a toll,
Which is-
to get to the Ocean City one.
I guess the alternative, no.
Now, don't you think
You have to
residents
stop.
of that particular area should get a pass?
You should get, no.
Why
But you should
not?
have like your own little teeny, like mini mart. Strathmere is like one road.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you have
You
to go
can't go-
over the bridge or all the way down to Sea Isle to do grocery
You're
shopping.
just going to tell the toll guy, like, hey, yeah, which isn't there
No,
anymore.
I'm
toll
saying,
guy's
like,
not
no,
there
you
anymore.
have like a badge or something,
like a
like a
beach tag.
resident badge.
But you're not a resident.
I am a resident,
You live here.
but I'm a resident there.
So is anybody else that rents.
But the people that own, just say the people that own get the
Okay.
badge.
So the people that
And
own.
the people that own in the city get a parking badge.
Yeah, if you go, you know the process for that.
Well, I don't care what I'll go through the process.
All right.
I got to pay for like $250 every time I go to the Acme.
I've had enough of going through processes around here. New word.
Yeah, no more process. I hate that word. Oh, I hate that.
See,
I
now
hate
you
that
wonder
word and
why
ramp.
I won't pay 10 to 20 cents for a paper bag here, because you get ripped off enough. Like you go to the grocery store, like if you're in Jersey, if you don't have, you got to schlep it. You don't have.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, they have no paper bags or anything, no bags at all. So if you forget your bag, you're screwed.
We have to buy the 99-cent bag.
Oh, I do. But
Best is,
I
you
forget
just-
it all the time.
Exactly. You have a ton of those, and every time you go to the store, and I'm like,
because you bring it in the house, you don't remember to bring it back.
No, the people that keep them in their cars, God bless you. I never remember to keep it in my car, ever.
So you're not. I thought we get support from you today about the badge.
I just
Like,
What
so
about- why
when I
don't-
go to the grocery store?
do you
it's
let
$2.50
go
a
like
toll.
okay, maybe I understand. Are you trying to go to the grocery store like every other day?
Well, yeah, you normally do.
See,
Well,
gotta
I don't load up on $200 worth of groceries.
What about, and hear me out, what about if you did grocery delivery?
You're still going to pay for that.
You pay, it's like a yearly fee. You can use it up here.
I think you have to pay for the toll. Like if they're going back to Ocean
Oh.
City,
Pay
you
for
the
have
toll,
to pay
too.
for the
Okay,
toll
well then
for your
now I'm,
driver.
now I'm with you. That's crazy.
It is. It's
If
nuts.
you're a delivery person, you shouldn't have to pay the
You
toll.
work hard all your life to get a place, and then all of a sudden you got to pay toll on it. It's not right.
America.
You have no sympathy whatsoever. for-
America.
Let's go. Let's go to the text board. What's on the text board today, Brendan Gunn?
We got Eddie in Delco checking in, say Roy Halladay is the answer to that question. I love Zach Wheeler, but he does not have the moments that Roy Halladay had in the past. This is Wheeler's first complete game in a couple of years. Roy Halladay had 6 in one season in 2011.
So you say Holiday. It's interesting.
Halladay.
Yeah, everybody,
It's the Delco in me.
most people
Yeah.
say Holiday.
It's
for
like
that
Matt
reason.
Holiday.
Yeah,
Jackson
Halladay.
Holiday.
Halladay.
Roy
Yeah,
Halladay.
It's the
It's
Delco
Halladay.
in me, I'm telling you.
It is.
Yeah.
That's true.
See, Halladay was such a machine that you
Truly.
don't go against him. Like Wheeler is like a guy who doesn't work out. It's like
That's my favorite thing. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
he
I'll
doesn't
work out a little bit.
And Halladay was like, I don't care if you think I'm a zombie or not. This is what I am. and You're gonna like it.
and I'm going to be awesome at it.
Yeah, and I think people respected that part of it. So as we go into the break, I want you to think about this. You're Dave Roberts. You got 2 choices for a starting pitcher. One is the world probably wants to see more, and that's starting Skeens.
Thank you so much.
The other is Zach Wheeler. He's got the familiarity with Georgia, the whole bit. Games in Atlanta. Do you do him a service?
Yes.
Or do you do Skeens the solid?
Skeens got the solid last year.
He
Listen,
did?
Paul Skeens is tremendous.
Mhm.
He's a great pitcher. But not only is it a return to Georgia, but it's also where the Braves play.
Yeah.
And Zach Wheeler should have won the Cy Young last year. Who won it? Chris Sale. Who does he pitch
You
for?
think Dave
The Braves.
Roberts? You think Dave Roberts cares about that?
This is you said I'm talking to Dave Roberts. This
no,
is my
you
pitch.
are Dave Roberts.
Oh, I thought it was my pitch to
No,
Dave
no,
Roberts.
you are Dave Roberts.
Oh.
So you got two
I think he
choices.
cares
One
about
is
the
you do the solid
Georgia guy.
for the guy, or the other is you do the solid for the
Listen,
nation.
Paul Skeens is probably going to start 5 more All-Star games. He started one
Yeah.
last year. I think that Dave Roberts will take into account the age that Zach Wheeler is and the fact that he's from Georgia.
And
I
you
do
think Dave
that-
Roberts goes with Wheeler?
I think if he's smart,
Okay.
or otherwise, people will find out his email and
I know.
phone
If I'm
number.
Dave Roberts, I go, man, everybody wants to see 100 miles an hour. I don't know.
How about 97?
6.
Can I interest you in a 97 mile an hour high fastball?
It's not like triple digits. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Wheeler dazzles on Sunday. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that is built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in their series against the Cincinnati Reds with a 3-1 win yesterday. Zach Wheeler was on the mound yesterday, and he was spectacular. Wheeler threw a complete game, 1 hitter, 1 batter away, 1 pitch away from a perfect game. And Wheeler Sunday got even better when he was named to be an All-Star, along with teammate Kyle Schwarber. Notable Phillies left off that All-Star roster, though, include Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and the NL hit leader, Trey Turner. The Phils hit the road tonight to begin a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 9:45. The Sixers began Summer League action over the weekend, and VJ Edgecombe had an impressive debut. The rookie went for 28 points on Saturday night. Summer League action continues tonight for the Sixers as they're set to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at 7. And the Flyers continue to make moves this offseason as the team announced a 5-year contract with defenseman Cam York earlier this morning. This update was also brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back, and the IHRI Outlaw Series is lighting up the track. Nitro Nation, grab your tickets now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
right, 10:28, Mike Missanelli Show. One quick short story, and we'll get to the text board in a second. And I want to talk about undeserved boos and deserved cheers. That sound weird to you?
A little bit.
Undeserved boos and deserved cheers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so here's
I see what you're saying.
here's the boardwalk story. So I'm on the boardwalk, and I'm in that Ocean City ride area,
Yeah.
Castaway Cove. Right.
Okay. No, we're talking
They
about.
had a big roller coaster and all that. So a lady, frankly, she looked like she was really harried. You know, like really, like kind of like neurotic.
Yeah, she had a lot
she's
going on.
She's got 3 boardwalk lemonades that she's toting around. One slides out of her hand and goes,
Oh.
and hits the ground. Now, most of it spills out, but not all of it. The 2 big lemon slices spill out. So she picks up the cup, she kicks the ice out of the way, but she leaves the lemons. And I'm going, and I'm sitting there going, in my head, I'm going, are you not going to pick up those lemons? And normally I would say that 99 times out of 100. And for some reason, I couldn't pull the trigger. And so she takes what was remaining in the one thing, pours the leftover lemonade in the other 2
Interesting.
to top them off.
Okay.
And leaves the lemons there. As she's standing there, she's obviously waiting for her kids to come off the ride. She leaves the lemons there.
What did she do
Now,
with the other cup? She could have
She
put
threw the other cup away.
So that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So she went and did
She
that.
was right near the trash can, literally right next to the trash can.
I'm just wondering, like, was she like, oh, maybe someone will come over and help me? But she walked over to throw the other cup away.
She just
But
like
left the
turned.
lemons
She
there.
turned. The trash can was right there. She turned. Like all she had to do was stoop over and pick up the lemons and
She's
put
already
them
down
in.
there, fixing the cup.
Exact-
Isn't that
Exactly.
the biggest violation? Like the seagulls are going to come now and get the lemons and scare everybody
I don't know.
away.
The seagulls eat lemons. I
They
don't
would
think
try.
they do.
I think they wouldn't
You
like
think
it.
they would?
I think they would
She
try.
left the lemons there, and I'm going, what is stopping me from ripping into this lady? And for some reason, I couldn't pull the
I
trigger.
probably scooped right next to her and be like, "You want me to get these for you?"
See,
I'll
that would have been the tactful thing.
Yeah.
But the only
get it
thing in
for
my
you.
head was, are you not going to pick up those lemons?
I'll get these for you. You're having a
She
tough
left the-
day.
She left the lemons there.
It's interesting to kick the ice out of the way.
Kick the ice out of the way.
Is that going to be like an impediment for people walking? Why kick the ice? out
Well,
of the way?
maybe she was thinking they would slide on the ice and fall, but the lemons apparently did not
She didn't kick
resonate
'em.
in her head.
No, they were not important. The lemons stay.
The things you pick up when you see a mass of humanity, you pick up every little thing. All right. Undeserved boos, deserved boos. I already talked about the undeserved boos. The toss to first base. The pickoff fly. Boo. How
they
about
always do that.
this? How about a pop fly to the infield that somebody catches and you get cheers?
Oh, like a Bronx
like-
cheer?
No. Like a yay cheer. Like a yay cheer. Like you'll
Because
get
somebody caught something in the infield?
it's an out. Like why are some outs cheer-worthy? Like why are
Yeah,
all outs
scenario.
cheer-worthy, but they're really not difficult to do?
I think that there's always a smattering of applause because it's just like, yeah, you did it. You did your job.
You got an out?
But there is obviously like the first out of the inning is always like,
All right, can of
You know what I
corn
mean?
fly ball to left field.
I'm not.
Kepler catches it.
See, I don't hear that many claps.
Oh,
now.
I hear it all the
every
time.
out.
Every
Yeah,
out,
every out.
every
Yeah.
out, there's a clap.
Sometimes
It's
it's
like
a
a
And I
golf
go,
clap.
wait a minute. Sometimes
Yeah, it's like a
ball,
golf clap.
A ball
That's
up
what
the
it is.
middle, you make a play on. It's not worthy. A fly ball, like, is it worthy just to cheer every out?
One out closer to ending the game. Like you gotta applaud it. If you're gonna boo them when they go out there and get an out every at bat, sometimes you got to applaud them when they make the out.
I've always been bothered by the easy out clap. I don't.
You just sit there in dead silence. Like, what do you do?
I
honestly,
never like. Listen, I look at a game differently. I don't cheer at a game. I just observe, right? Because I think you've been in this business for a long time. It's like, okay, whatever. If I'm ever at a game, but I do not understand the cheering for just a routine out.
I think it's more of a golf clap. I do cheer. I mean,
Do you?
I'm not like, yeah, you got it. Second out of the fourth inning.
You golf clap it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, good job. But if I'm doing something else, I'm just like, oh, good
What's
play.
a good job? It's a fly ball. You're expected to catch that.
Well, he did.
What's a good
So
job?
therefore, I'm gonna-
See, a good job, I'll cheer
I'm
for.
not saying good job. I'm just thinking in my mind. I'm not saying good job. That would be like if I'm my
does that make-
10-year-olds. Like,
does that make me
game.
weird? Probably does, but that's okay. It makes me weird to question cheering for just a routine out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think yeah.
I think
More
it
like
shows they're locked into the game. Like, wouldn't you find it weird that you don't have to cheer? You just sit around, they get an out, and everyone's just sitting there eating their crab fries or
All right,
whatnot?
like
And it's that silence?
3-hopper to the second baseman, gets it, throws him out, doesn't even throw it hard, it throws him out.
It's a routine play. See, I feel like I don't know the people that are doing that aggressive play for that, clapping for that play.
Well, but collectively, it sounds like aggression.
Yeah, but there's some that definitely sound like a smattering, as opposed to like when Alabama.
So smattering is okay.
A smattering. Well, I mean, I'm not going to always do it, but I definitely would like.
Shows you're locked in. Like, you're paying attention. We appreciate you.
Or
It shows you're locked in.
Sometimes it shows that I'm not locked in, and I have no idea because I'm like I just got back from getting my Chickies fries or whatever, and I'm sitting down. Oh, and out. Good job. I have no idea what
Sometimes
just
it
happened.
does get a little loud when you're getting the food and you hear the clap a little bit. You're like, what did I miss?
You're like,
And then
start
it was
looking
a
at
It's
routine
just a
ground ball.
routine clap.
Yeah, but you look up. You're like, what it is? Oh, it's just an out. Okay, good job.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. Like I say, I'm trying. A lot of this show is self-exploring.
Yes, well, we're trying to learn about why people yell at people.
Right.
We're trying to learn why you boo.
Yes, like why
for the pickoff.
would you get into it with Castellanos? Why would you cheer just a routine pop fly ball? Why would you boo when the pitcher tries to check on a guy who has a lead at first base? Like these little things I process all the time.
I just think like the clapping is more like what B-Gun was saying. It's an out for the pitcher, and that's always a good thing, right? It's one out closer to the end of the game, and hopefully the team is winning or is going to have a chance to cap.
So Joe Ross induces a pop up to third base.
I'm probably clapping for it.
I'm going all out because those are hard to come by.
Nice job, Joe. You got it out.
Job, Jeff. That's almost like a sarcastic joke.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the text. Give me one text. We got a break. Then we'll come back because we had a lot of texts.
Well, speaking of booing for apparently no reason, we got Jamal in West Philly checking in saying he had a reason to boo that pansy Austin Hayes yesterday. He cuffed his ear after rounding for home yesterday.
He cuffed his ear because he
Screw
got
him for
booed
that
the whole
reason.
time. He cuffed his ear in response to the boos.
Don't let logic get in the way, Mike.
The boo came before the cup.
Don't let logic get in the way. It's not a chicken or the egg situation.
Yeah.
Come on, he didn't do that when he came up the plate the first time he got booed. Did he cup his ear?
No, he cupped it after he got booed because he wanted to hear the boos.
Exactly. But it's like the boo came before the cup. That's my point.
I thought he handled it in stride, like literally running to home in stride. I thought it was funny.
I would have done the same thing. Screw you. Here's what you missed. Bye bye. All right, 610-632-0975 back after this.
Do you feel unfulfilled?
Humid day out there. I don't know if we're going to get some rain or not, but it's been really pretty good run of weather. Nice and hot, and the beach was fantastic.
Yeah.
I got to admit, the beach was really good.
It rained a little bit, though.
Where did it rain?
Not like on the weekend, but it rained on Thursday.
Here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, here.
It rains every day here.
Oh, yeah. It did
It's
rain
like-
here.
Did rain.
But the
not-
beach was
welcome.
really nice.
I think it might rain a little bit today. Check the
All right.
forecast. I'll check
Any text on the lemon?
the lemon.
The lady.
There's some people.
What would you have done?
Nothing on the lemon yet.
All right. What would you have done if a woman in front of you spilled her lemonade and left the lemons on the ground? What would you have done?
And keep in mind that she was right next to the.
Right next to the receptacle.
I would have just let me get these for you, because
You would have done that. Let me get these for you. See,
stared at her and been like, I saw what you did, but I'm
Yeah.
going to help you out. So maybe next time
That's
you
really-
won't do
wow,
it.
That's really nice of you.
But maybe next
I don't-
time you
see,
realize it. It's like when I take
Yeah.
someone's shopping cart and I'm like, I'm looking at you as I'm putting it away.
Yeah,
Giving you
that's
the stink eye.
That's a good passive aggressive way of doing it.
I think you did it the right way. Like
I didn't do
You
anything.
just stared at her.
I think
No,
that's what,
I was wrong. I didn't do anything.
See-
I was a coward.
that's what I would have done, though. It's a busy holiday weekend. You don't want a confrontation on the boardwalk to scare some kids away. Like, who's this old man yelling at my mom? Come on now.
She was alone.
I thought you said her kids were there.
Her kids
was,
were
like,
on
waiting
the
on her.
rides.
Okay.
She was there alone.
And then they're on top of the Ferris wheel. They see their mom getting scolded.
But
Rightfully
it
or
wasn't.
wrongfully.
She couldn't see them,
Okay.
so she was just waiting.
Now, are you usually a confrontational person for that kind of thing?
I feel like he would have said something if it had not been July 4th.
I'm like staring at the lemons and staring at her, like looking at her.
I think you're waiting for her to do
She
something.
had her back to me, so I couldn't get like a facial on her. So I'm just looking at the lemons, going, she can't just want to be leaving them there. But she just stood up, and there was no way she was going to pick the lemons up.
Like, she picked up the ice, took
Yeah.
that to the
She kicked
the
the ice out of
goes
it. She
away.
kinda
But she took the cup.
Kicked the ice
Yeah,
out
I
of
would
it.
have been like, you're down there already trying to fix the situation. You throw the lemons in the cup and you toss the cup.
So I'm curious, what would people have done? I did nothing. And when I walked away, I thought about it the whole rest of the night.
This really stuck with you.
Somebody
It
checked
did,
in saying,
'cause I go, why didn't I say anything? Like, because she left the lemons there, that inconvenienced other people. They had to either walk around the lemons or squish them or whatever if they didn't see them.
somebody is checking in saying,
All right, go
I
ahead.
would have told the lady to pick up those lemons this instant, you scumbag.
Wait, I got one. Someone chimes in. Mike complains about 10-cent grocery bags, but has no sympathy for the poor woman dropping $15 on a lemonade.
Well, yes, but she also rested the other two lemonades on top of the trash receptacle. So she had two
that's
available
Yeah,
hands.
that's odd. It's odd to leave them there knowing that you have already tried to remedy part of the situation.
We got somebody else checking in saying they would have walked over, been scratching their head in confusement, and slipped on them and tried to make some monny.
Well, they
That's
wouldn't have
a
sued
step too
her.
far.
She doesn't have 3 nickels. The woman, you're gonna sue the poor the ride people. You're gonna sue the park.
No, there's no. You can't do anything.
You
Like that. There's
can't- you
ice cream
can't,
all
but
over the boardwalk. You
Technically,
slip
you
everywhere.
could. I guess you could. Like their maintenance people didn't pick up the lemons, and other people trod past it, and it was the woman's fault the whole time.
We got somebody checking in saying
That's a
they would-
personal injury
they would-
lawsuit. Where's
No,
Colarulo?
there's no way that's true.
Colarulo, call in.
When you're on the boardwalk, there's no way. Who are you going to sue?
You sue the entity.
So how about the
It's like
kid-
the grocery store when they don't pick up a spill. Who gets sued?
but
The
you're
grocery store.
You're inside.
It doesn't matter. The entity is responsible for safe
So
ground.
is it the state of New Jersey you're suing? Like,
no,
who
you're
owns the
suing
boardwalk?
Whoever owns
That little
Castaway
part.
Cove. The people who own Castaway Cove, like the people who own Maurice Pier or whatever. They're the ones that would be liable for public safety.
So that's not right then.
That's not right.
That's
Because
not
there's
right.
like some kid drops his ice cream, whatever.
Get Colarulo on the phone right now, Mr. Personal Injury Lawyer.
He's
we
probably
gotta
walking
we got to
in
get
in
him
5
right now. Colarulo, you're listening. Call. I need to consult with this. The entity is going to get sued because of that woman. She's not going to get sued. She might be included in the lawsuit, but the deep pockets come from the entity.
That's interesting.
All right, get back to the text board.
All right, we got a lot of people checking in on that initial conversation about who you would rather have, Wheeler, Halladay, Or Kurt Schilling, somebody checks in. Tom from Lansdowne says, Wheeler, what a great pitcher, what a great performance yesterday. Underrated in the game, considered his name next to big names. But I've been following the game for 55 years. It has to be Steve Carlton, who you left off the list. But given those three choices, it goes Halladay 1, Wheeler 2, Schilling 3.
Okay, a lot of people say, we should have included Hamels or Carlton.
Lee.
Carlton was too long ago for people to even fathom, so that's why I didn't include him.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you anything about.
You don't even know Schilling, for crying out loud.
No, I know who Kurt Schilling is, but I don't remember his big-time performances other than pretty much
Diamondbacks and Red Sox.
Yeah, that's it.
How old are you, Gun?
31.
You don't remember Schilling?
In a Phillies uniform? Like, I remember him
Well,
being
you don't
here.
remember the Atlanta series? Way back when? How old were you in the Atlanta series?
You would have been like,
Kid. Like, very young.
You would have been
Elementary school.
12 at least?
no,
No.
No?
No.
How long ago was that?
it's not. It's,
When was the Phillies Atlanta series? Oh, that
You'd
was
have been-
93.
That's
so
the
how
year I
long-
was born.
93
I
you
wasn't
were
alive
born?
yet. Yeah, I was born December of 93, so
It's
I
30
wasn't
years
born.
ago. You carried the one. You thought it was 20 years ago.
I know.
Yeah, no. I'm like, Phillies Braves.
All right, Colarulo's
22.
on the line. All right, let's get to the bottom of this. Colarulo, who practices in personal injury.
He's here. Why would he just come in?
Because
There's
he's
no
on
one.
his way in, probably. Is he here? He's not.
He usually gets here like
Not
right
here
around
yet.
now.
Bill, you with us? Bill. Hey, Bill. All right, do I got to put him on?
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get the right remote. All right, here we go.
Did you do
Hey,
it?
Bill.
There you go.
Yo, what's going on, brother?
Yo, I got a personal injury question for you since you dealt with these cases all the time. The lady leaves the lemons there on the ground in the full walking area. Now, if somebody slides on that, the entity is it's going to get sued, correct?
Yes, but here's the caveat. And let me first put a disclaimer out there. This is not legal advice nor form a client
This is
attorney relationship.
curbstone opinion, as they say in law school.
So there's a couple elements. First, you got to prove the dangerous condition. Well, the dangerous condition is there. There's lemons. Someone falls on it. Clearly, it's dangerous. But the second part, you got to prove that the boardwalk had noticed. They had enough time to clean up the dangerous condition. So if it was instantaneous, you saw it, you go and you fall right away, they would have the defense. They didn't have ample time to clean it up. But if it had been there for, let's say, 15, 20 minutes, and no one's cleaning it up, you would then be able to sue the entity because
I'm telling you, I was there for 10 minutes and the lemons were still there. So when I left, there had to be another 5 minutes that had gone by. Now, it's not the boardwalk.
Yeah.
It's that cove off the boardwalk that is singularly owned, I'm assuming, by the people who own the pier, like that area of the pier.
Trust me, I've spent tons of money on that boardwalk, that ride.
Okay, so
you know Castaway Cove,
yes,
right?
you know
Yeah.
exactly where it is. It's the walkway, the cement walk, the concrete walkway to that crazy roller coaster that goes wiggly upside down. Right, you know I'm
Yeah,
talking.
so here's what you would have to do. If I was taking the deposition of the director of safety for Castaway
Director of
Cove,
Safety, yes.
you would find out what is the schedule for them to go around and inspect the grounds to make sure there's no dangerous conditions. And then you got to see if they abided by that. So there's a chance that this woman caused a lawsuit for Castaway Cove.
That's what I'm saying. It's the entity that would get sued because of this woman. You're not going to well, would you include her on the lawsuit? She doesn't have 3 nickels, this woman.
No,
She has-
one,
she-
you probably
she
don't
does-
know
She
her.
spent it all on
She
lemonade.
had $45 to buy those
Right,
lemonade.
she spent it all on lemonade. She got nothing
You
left.
you wouldn't know who she was anyway. So you're going to go after the entity because they have insurance for that.
Right. Okay. And what
This is
kind
what
of
I used to
lawsuit are
do.
we
I don't
talking
do
about?
this anymore.
How much money could that have cost that? So suppose somebody runs by, gets an ACL injury, boom, can't work now for 6 months.
Yeah, the damages are what they are. It depends on what the economic losses are, what the pain and suffering is. It could be a pretty substantial
Okay.
recovery because she was selfish.
Now, you're me. You're standing there. You witnessed it. You're a personal injury attorney. What would you have done to the woman? Would you have waited for somebody to fall so you could sue the damn entity?
No, that's not me. I will say, though, my wife has pointed this out. Because I was a personal injury lawyer for so long, when I identify these dangerous conditions, I lose my mind and immediately start trying to clean it up or warn people or put in cones because I've seen injuries occur all the time.
So you would
You're
have
the
said something.
supermarket,
You would have said something to the
I
lady.
would have probably done Amy. I would have probably done what Amy said she would have done. I would have just cleaned it up myself. and I would have made sure she saw it. Say, hey, don't worry, I'll get these.
I got it.
All right. Thanks for your
All
expert
right.
opinion. You're now
Yeah, this is riveting stuff you got.
you're dismissed from the stand. Thank you. All right, there he is, Bill Colarulo. You'll hear on Unfiltered coming up a little later. 610-632-0975. We have a lot of texts on why people cheer for outs. Pop fly. There it is, left field. It's hit 90 miles an hour in
I
the
just want to
air.
know, is it the same
Launch
person?
angle of 105.
Is that person cheering
Catch
the
it.
same person that will like boo? Are they just always like a reactionary person?
Throw to first base. Boo!
That's what I need to see the Venn diagram of like the people that cheer for the outs, that cheer for anything else.
Let's connect the
but
dots.
also boo, and then also confront Nick Castellanos.
There you
Same
go.
guy?
That's right. See, nobody has an opinion on why. Why would you be an idiot and yell at your own players after one loss? Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Zach Wheeler and Dazzles on Sunday. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in their series against the Cincinnati Reds with a 3-1 win yesterday. Zach Wheeler got the start on the mound, and he was spectacular. Wheeler threw a complete game, 1 hitter, 1 batter away from a perfect game. Just stinks that batter was Austin Hayes with a home run. Wheeler Sunday got even better, though, after the game when he was named to the All-Star team along with teammate Kyle Schwarber. Notable Phillies left off that roster, though, include Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and Trey Turner. The Phillies hit the road to begin a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants tonight. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 9:45. The Sixers began Summer League action over the weekend, and rookie VJ Edgecombe had an impressive Summer League debut. He went for 28 points on Saturday night against the Utah Jazz and Ace Bailey. Summer League action continues tonight for the Sixers. They're set to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at 7. And the Flyers continue to make moves this offseason as the team announced a 5-year contract extension for defenseman Cam York this morning. This update was brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale is your chance to reclaim your restless nights and upgrade to a premium mattress. Get matched and sleep at night now at Mattress Firm. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
10:57. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic. Amy Fiddle sitting in today. Ray Dunn off today. Brendan Gunn is producing the show. And we threw all kinds of stuff on the wall today. I don't know why. I had a stream of consciousness. Why you boo, why you cheer certain things. Lemons on the ground. One of the all-star selection, who's going to be a starting pitcher. If I'm Dave Roberts, I got Skeens. I stay up at night. Skeens. People want to see Skeens. They don't really want to see Wheeler. But Wheeler, I could do him a solid in Atlanta and the whole bit. And the Phillies winning yesterday, winning the series over the Reds. But a little squabble for Friday night's game. When they lost the game, somebody was jawing with, I assume it was Bryson Stott, ripping into him. And Castellanos jawed back at the fan. And it's like, it's not, listen, Castellanos has rabbit ears, we call it, where you hear everything and you shouldn't hear anything, really. But what fan would do something like that? I want to get to the mentality. What's the payoff for you to do something like that? They lost a game.
To yell specifically, I think, is the bigger thing, right? It's not just like you're booing. I'm like, oh, I'm disappointed or what. I don't know. At that point, the game's over. Like, I've already moved on.
Yeah, Stott's been struggling.
I've already moved on.
I get it.
And then, of course, he hits a home run.
Yeah, he hits a home run.
What is that guy thinking today?
Yeah, he's very unassuming after he hits the home run. And listen, folks, there's never a truer statement than this. Nobody goes to home plate wanting to make an out. Right?
You know what I'm going to do?
The truest thing ever. Yeah, I think I'll go make an out so people can boo me here. Nobody tries to make an out in baseball. It's hard to get a hit. It is.
And especially when, and I know the scenario, it's like he popped up, there was guys on base, and it was frustrating. They were 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position on July 4th, and it's like, really? 11 dudes left on base? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
At the same time, like your point is, Bryson Stott doesn't go up there. You know what I'd like to do today?
Make it out.
I'd love to pop it up to short.
Yeah, I want to pop it up. And
That's what I want to do.
I want to destroy a rally. Listen, I get it. The only thing that I think fans should get frustrated about is an undisciplined hitter. Like, Castellanos drives people nuts. He's a first pitch swinger on breaking balls that are not even going to be in the strike zone. It's the way they pitch them. It's like that in every scouting report. You would think he would read one and go, I'm going to lay off that. And that's where fans can get frustrated with him. But, like, nobody's trying to make an out intentionally. All right.
And to specifically call him out, because I'm sure there was a name, like they yelled out, Bryson.
Bryson, you suck.
Yeah, or Nick
Bryson,
or whatever.
you suck.
So, like, if
Castellanos, get out of here. Why don't you go home? Don't even come back. Blah, 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 blah.
But it's like, it's one of those ones where you wonder if, like, he turned around, because you've seen the scenarios out there in the wild where you say something to whomever, whether it's an athlete or a person, and they turn around, and you're like, so, like, let's see how this is going to play out, sir, because you clearly did not think past just yelling.
Uh-huh.
So, like, what if he was outside and he said something, and then Nick Castellanos comes up and just like, hey, let's chit-chat about that. I'm sure then.
Yeah.
I think the guy would not continue.
That's
what I don't
chit-chat.
understand. What's the end game there?
Chat. What's the deal here?
let's chit-chat
Can I
about
come to your house today and we'll have a barbecue? And
Should I yell at you when you mow your lawn?
You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Back to the text board. What do we got here, Brendan?
No name on this one, but he says, come on, Mike. You say it's hard to get 27 outs in a baseball game, but now you don't want everybody to acknowledge each of them.
Oh, for the cheering for the out.
I didn't say it was hard to get 27 outs. I said it was hard to hit. Where did I say it was hard to get 27 outs in a game?
People hear what they want.
If you got a good pitcher, you're going to get a lot of outs. You're going to eventually get 21 outs, right? But I just like the out itself. The out itself is cheerworthy, or it's not cheerworthy. That's what I'm saying.
We also got a lot of people echoing the same sentiment. Pretty much, it says a pop up to the infield is a win for the pitcher. It doesn't matter if that play is hard or not for the shortstop, second baseman. It's a win for the pitcher.
You're cheering the pitcher for getting the out.
You're cheering for the inning being closer to being over, without any runs scored or gentlemen on base.
I take pride in my cheers.
You said you don't cheer at all, though.
But well, if I cheer, it's like for a good reason.
Yeah. Like I said,
I think you got to have a good.
I'll give it a friendly clap. Not always.
All right.
Again, sometimes it's because I'm like, I don't know what just happened.
Remember the COVID videos of like the basketball squeaks? Like that's how Mike would like the game. Just that silence and the squeaks.
How about this? Ball 4.
He worked a walk.
What if it's a 12 pitch at
How about a
bat?
guy who can't find the strike zone? Four straight ball.
Well, you're clapping for your guy being smart. Listen, you just said Nick Castellanos was swinging something 2 feet out of the strike zone. So I'm absolutely clapping for a walk.
How about a strikeout pass ball, and he
gets the first?
He beats
No,
the play.
there's no clapping there.
No clapping
There's
there?
no clapping
Oh,
there.
I think I would
okay.
clap there. I think I would
Why
clap.
would you
You
clap there?
functioned.
The guy,
You don't see that every day.
You're clapping for the novelty of it.
Yes. Like, you don't see that every day. He gets there. It's like
I'm definitely clapping for a walk. A dropped third strike where you hustle. Well, you know what? I guess you had to hustle your way down to first base.
You're clapping.
Well, I've
You're
decided
clapping
to.
for a walk when a guy takes a pitch that's not in the strike zone. That's merit.
Yeah.
To you?
That's a good eye.
It's a great eye.
It's a
in
good
this
eye.
lineup.
It's a good. Okay, suppose there's not even a pitch close.
All 4 of them have not been
All
close.
4 of them are not close.
Listen,
Is
I watch
that
a lot
your-
of really bad and borderline baseball at the little league level. I'm clapping for that. Okay.
Now, let me ask you guys: is it fair to boo when they intentionally walk somebody these days? Do you cheer for that, or do you boo?
I don't
I don't-
understand the boos for throwing to first or intentional walk. I don't get it.
An
It's a
intentional walk, that's
strategic-
just a gamesmanship.
it's a
Like,
strategy
that's a
part of the
strategy.
game.
I'm not booing.
So-
or
Yeah, but if
cheering
you
for
bought a ticket, don't you want to see Bryce Harper go up there and get his shot to
He's
put
not
one
gonna-
out of the
You're
yard?
not throwing
But
him any
I
strikes.
can't be stupid enough to think
That's
that
gonna
they
happen.
didn't for a reason. They didn't walk the guy for a reason. Like what do I have to process it in my head?
like
why
there's
I
a
would
man
walk
on
the guy?
Kyle Schwarber's coming up.
Right.
He's not going to get it.
Boo!
But Johnny busted his ass all week at doing construction in the
Well,
heat.
then Johnny's
Johnny
an
can do whatever he wants.
Johnny's an idiot for not knowing the game. That's what I say. I don't
Johnny-
care how many hours he worked during the week.
Johnny
Pay
can
attention to the game.
No, Johnny can do whatever he wants. You're asking if I would do it.
Johnny can't do anything he wants.
Sure he can. He
No,
can yell
Johnny
at Nick
can't.
It's a free
Castellanos.
country. Can leave your lemons wherever you want.
He did. He left his lemons on the boardwalk. He's going to come yell at the players by name. He's going to cheer for the walk, the intentional walk for his guy, and then he's going to boo the intentional walk for the other.
How about this? If somebody threw a lemon onto the field, Bill Colarulo would say, okay, 15 minutes have gone by, and the ground crew has not picked
They
up
would
the
absolutely.
lemon.
They would get there.
and,
You gotta sue the
and
Phillies.
somebody came around first base and slipped on it and blew out his knee.
What is happening right now?
You're
What
suing
is-
the Phils.
Exactly. No, I think that there's like certain scenarios that you inherit, like you infer the danger. And I think being at the ball, like on the back of your ticket, it says like you can't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like indemnified or whatever it is.
Yeah, but there have been cases where somebody's been plunked with foul balls in batting practice. I used to teach a sports law class at St. Joe's. It happened in Pittsburgh. Barry Bonds actually hit a foul ball into the concourse and conked a woman on the head, and the woman recovered damages.
I mean, it's literally written on the back of your ticket.
What
Like,
about when the
you can get
fanatic
hit.
It is,
shot
but
the old
like
lady in the
the-
face
Oh, yeah.
with the hot dog?
Yeah.
That was bad.
Now, is that
Oh,
that's not on the back of the
Fanatic-
ticket?
The fanatic got sued.
The fanatic, the
Fana-
individual?
Yeah, the fanatic got sued for many
He
times.
he got
few
sued
times.
for the look, the stealing of the look, or not like owning the look. Remember
No,
when
the
he's-
fanatic got sued for hurting somebody, like for blowing a thing in the face and getting
I don't know.
somebody in the eye.
I have a
or-
real hard line when it comes to that. It's a mascot.
I get it, but the mascot was still sued. They had to settle the case.
That's nonsense.
You can
That's terrible.
You can look it up. The
I don't
fanatic has
want
been
to.
sued a
That's
couple
going
of
to really
times.
take
Like,
humanity
the fanatic
down.
flopped on somebody's lap and
Yeah, of
hurt
course
their
he did.
and hurt their
You got to ban
That's like-
that person for life
right.
from
That
the
person,
stadium.
they hate joy.
They just hate fun.
Well, they got hurt. So
You're telling me
it's
they
like-
were welcoming the
Right,
fanatic
yeah.
to sit on their lap?
no, they weren't. The fanatic isn't welcomed a lot of the times. The fanatic just does what the fanatic does.
You're
I
in
mean-
his home.
That's right. It's his house.
In his home. So you go to somebody's home and they have a faulty chair and the leg breaks and you fall. That's not their problem.
Like, if you come to my house and sit in my good spot on my couch, I'm sitting my ass on top of you until you move.
Well,
that's what the
not
fanatic
really
did.
the point. If you have a faulty chair and somebody falls and breaks their hip,
Can they sue you?
of course they can.
This says a
That's
lot about
crazy.
America.
It's like- you welcome somebody in your
It's like
house?
they slip on your sidewalk and you left like a banana peel or there something there. You know, this is all sue worthy, man. This is a litigious nation.
Oh, it
It
is.
happened to the world I knew.
610
It was in 1993 when you were 10, apparently.
Yes. 93 you were born, dude?
You were like, but no, he wasn't.
Great
He
year.
wasn't born.
I wasn't even born for that
Exactly.
Phil's run.
God.
I was like, I think Mike was. We've all done it. You all think something's like closer. Like, oh yeah, I remember like 2000. That was like 10 years ago.
These young kids
25 years
that are
ago.
here, it's like they have no frame of reference. Like history didn't exist before they were born.
Yeah, but like,
You know?
I didn't watch
It's
Steve
like-
Carlton, but I know he was good.
Abraham Lincoln got shot at the Ford Theater. You remember that?
I read that on the internet.
I wasn't born. Well, you remember it happened, right?
I know it happened. I don't remember it happening.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You know it happened. You know the
I
Phillies in
understand.
'93 played
Philly
the
in
World
93.
Series.
But the way you were saying it
Abe
so
Lincoln.
matter-of-factly, like, how do you not remember it? I thought it was like, am I forgetting a series when I was alive?
You're in sports media. Now you should know your damn history.
I know
Mike
history.
Missanelli Show continues back after this.
The summer season.
712, Mike Missanelli Show. We didn't talk about the 76ers and the Summer League team where VJ Edgecombe went off in his first game, Amy.
Looked quite good.
What's your review?
It's exactly what I thought. He was going to be very athletic, got to the rim at will. I thought he looked good shooting the ball. He's got good wiggle, good defensively. It's Summer League. But
So do you believe that he will be a major contributor this year?
I think he's going to be a productive player off the bench for them, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
That's where I would have him. They still haven't signed Quentin Grimes.
No, they haven't, but they're posturing, it looks like, right?
I think that the number that Quentin Grimes is looking for is a little high. And so I think if I was the Sixers, I would be waiting to see what offers came in, and then you have the right to match, and that's where you know where the bar is going to be set. He doesn't set the bar. Other teams set the bar. This one's pretty easy. When it's restricted free agent, the other teams set the bar for you.
What did you think about Ace Bailey?
That's exactly what I thought he was. Listen, the guy's going to get his shots up. Is he going to score 9 points in a game on the regular? No. He's going to have a lot of points because he's going to put up a lot of shots for a bad Jazz team. And I think he's a nice player. I really do. I just think his attitude stinks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. When I think back, I go, they needed a wing more than they needed a guard.
He could have gotten a wing later. I was curious as to why, and I think Johanny Broom is fine. I like Johanny Broom. I was curious as to why 2 picks after Broom went, you didn't take Adu Therio.
Yeah.
It's a nice wing.
Yeah.
I watched him a lot.
Strong kid, too.
I watched him a lot.
Yeah.
That's just my personal.
You were very disappointed in the draft because they didn't take your boy out of Texas.
He went next, didn't he?
He did.
He went right there. Yeah, I mean, VJ Edgecombe and actually Trey Johnson are pretty tight. They had a really nice back and forth when they saw that they were coming in the room together after they got drafted to the press conference area or whatever. They had a really nice moment. And I talked to him.
You know what he said to him? Amy wanted to say.
So this woman standing, I was literally standing next to VJ just getting ready to do my one-on-one, and I see it and I pause and I wanted to be like, who I enjoy you, but I really wanted that guy.
Yeah, you should have said that.
No,
that would have gone over real.
Yeah, I think he probably. I think I liked VJ Edgecombe if he was my second choice.
All right, back
I'll
to
tell him that.
Back to the text board. We have a text on Edgecombe.
Yeah, we got VJ Edgecombe is reminding me of Andre Iguodala minus 2 inches, and I think he has the ceiling of a Dwayne Wade.
Oh.
Well, that's who Jay Billis compared him to, like a young Wade.
I've heard young Jimmy Butler.
That's a little,
I've heard Butler more than D Wade. That's a high.
But that's Jay Billis. Jay Billis said Dwayne Wade. Jay Billis defines college basketball player. You weren't aware of that?
Jay Billis defines college basketball. Yes.
Yeah, he
I
does.
got that. VJ Edgecombe played for 4 months.
Yeah, I understand. I agree with you. I'm just saying that, Jay Billis.
Good for Jay.
What else we got?
Yeah, the same texter also continued on the Grimes thing you mentioned. He said, I'd pass on Quentin Grimes. I'd sign a veteran like Kyle Lowry or Chris Paul. Just what this team needs, another old guy.
Why Kyle Lowry? Kyle Lowry's going to be back, right? Isn't he back?
No, he's not.
He's not back yet?
Mm-mm.
Why would you want Kyle?
You just signed Eric Gordon.
Why would you want either of them? I don't understand.
You had to get Eric Gordon. You offered him a player option. So you had to make that work for you in a way that you're really up against it. I mean,
they declined the player option, right?
No, Eric Gordon. It was Eric Gordon declined it. It's a player option.
Okay.
But as soon as he declined it, I knew that meant they had already had
a deal
because they probably came to him and said, listen, we need help with the salary.
Why
cap.
would you need Eric Gordon to babysit VJ Edgecombe?
You don't, but you had to have him. Okay. You're paying him regardless. It's a player option.
I just don't understand the old guys that they carry. I just don't get it.
They're stuck.
It's annoying to me.
The two, Andre Drummond and Eric Gordon, those were both player options. They both picked up. Well, one picked up their player option in Drummond, and the other one didn't pick it up, but was rewarded for not picking it up and helping the team with a little bit more of a friendlier type of contract. It's tough. That's why you can't have Kyle Lowry again. You're up against it. His veteran minimum, his cap hit would be it's only like $3 million, but you're already at the first apron. The second apron, when you get up to that, not to get into all the logistics of it, when you get up into these extra tiers or whatever, it takes how much you can pay your mid-level exception. It cuts that in half. So they don't get rewarded for it.
Okay.
Also got somebody checking in on the Austin Hayes situation. Says he was booed yesterday because he's now playing like an all-star, and that's what we thought we were acquiring last year at the deadline.
He was
non-existent with us.
Listen, I'm annoyed too when I see him performing for another team that he didn't perform here, because I was pro to that trade. I thought he was going to be a decent player for them coming down the stretch. But he was hardly here to show it enough, you know. Like when he was healthy for 2 days, was he supposed to hit 3 home runs? You know, that's the only thing you got to put in perspective. Like, why waste your time booing a guy like that? Like, that guy wanted to play here.
He would have loved to, I'm sure.
Yeah,
he was excited about it.
He was. So, like, you know,
He had a kidney infection.
And in fact, you could have signed him for this year instead of Kepler. So, boo Dave Dombrowski.
Can you imagine if they had signed after the season that Austin Hayes had last year, if they'd re-signed him? Regardless, at the beginning of the season, our entire summer would have been like, or entire offseason, the winter would have been like, you can't have, what are they doing? This guy was awful. You can't, you're banking on this. And then obviously it turns into that. You never know.
And we got somebody checking in on the lemon situation. Joe in West Philly says, I would have helped her clean up the lemons and bought her fresh new lemonades. They were probably for her kids.
Okay, well, first of all, you're not buying another lemonades because those things are like $20.
They
You're
really
not doing
are
another one of those.
expensive.
They're very
Plus,
expensive.
they're not like she carted those from the boardwalk. They weren't.
They're not at Castaway
right
Cove. They came over from like
exactly.
somewhere else. Yeah,
there's like a
I will
stand
pick
right
up the
before
lemons for you.
Castaway
I'm
Cove.
not buying you another lemonade. I'm so sorry.
You ever buy
Dr.
those lemonades? You like those lemonades?
My children are big lemonades, so
Are
I bought
they?
those things. I'm
Yeah?
not. I'm good on lemonade. I'll drink it.
What do you buy at the boardwalk? What's your main go-to?
Sam's Pizza.
Sam's Pizza?
Yeah,
Where's that? Where's Sam's?
it's Wildwood Boardwalk.
Oh, that's Wildwood Boardwalk. You go to that Wildwood Boardwalk?
Sometimes.
Oh, my God. The mayhem on that
It's
boardwalk.
crazy. You have to get out a certain. The games there. So Shawnee likes to play the basketball
Yeah.
games. They have really legit basketball games. He enjoys
I
those
got
very much.
an interesting question on the other side, as far as like the water guns.
You mean the game water guns?
The game water, the
Oh,
game
yeah.
where you win the plushies.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
You're in there. All right, Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Wheeler dazzles on Sunday. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in their series against the Cincinnati Reds with a 3-1 win yesterday. Zach Wheeler was on the mound and he was spectacular. Wheeler threw a complete game, 1-hitter, 1 batter away from a perfect game. Unfortunately, that 1 hit was a home run to Austin Hayes. Wheeler Sunday got even better though after the game. He was named an All-Star along with teammate Kyle Schwarber. Notable Phils left off that All-Star roster though include Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and Trey Turner, the National League hit leader. Phils hit the road tonight to begin a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 9:45. The Sixers began Summer League action over the weekend, and VJ Edgecombe had an impressive debut. The rookie went for 28 points on Saturday night against Ace Bailey and the Utah Jazz. Summer League action continues tonight for the Sixers. They're set to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7. And the Flyers continue to make moves this offseason as the team announced a 5-year contract extension for defenseman Cam York this morning. This update was brought to you by Indeed.com. Stop struggling to get your job posts seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
We got a lot of texts. They're at least on the right side of the fan who got into. Normally these fans would identify themselves and they'll get some acclaim on Crossing Broad or something like that. The booed stop. So I want to try to ID that guy who ripped into him and got into the beef with the Castellanos. I need to talk to him.
You need to talk to him?
I need to talk to him.
See where his head's at?
We got a lot of fans that are ripping into this guy. So, Brendan, what do you got?
Well, we got one guy who thinks he might know where this fan is. Phil from
really?
Ohio
Knows the guy?
says, no, not necessarily. He says the loser fan that gave Hassad a rash only did so he could go back to his loser dive bar in Manayunk and tell his buddies that he said something and Cassie got in a fight with him. Now he thinks he's a celebrity. He's a loser.
Oh, wow.
Well, he hasn't identified himself yet to be a celebrity, right?
Not yet.
But in his mind, he's going to be like, you see Castellanos yelling, that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Why is the guy living in Manayunk, though?
What's wrong with Manny?
Yeah,
Why you got to bring Manayunk
You got to
in there?
give Manayunk a stray. What's that about? All right, go ahead. What else you got?
Somebody else says this guy's a smacked ass. There's probably kids down there, and they're looking at this guy yell at one of their favorite players. There's no need for it.
You can actually see the guy. I just pulled up the video. And also, like, sometimes you see these guys yelling. There's, like, a kid with them. That's always a very strong thing for me. Like, wow. What's that like for you later?
Yeah, they don't think of that part. The kid picks up everything.
Yeah, they do.
That kid's going to, like, think it's okay to do something like that when he gets to be an older person. Or he's embarrassed to the point where he goes the opposite way.
Well, it's funny because the next text, no name on this one, says this is how generational nonsense gets passed down because you go to a game with a couple of your kids and they think that's all right.
Yeah, and then they turn into booers. It's a breeding cycle. All right, let me ask you a question about the one last beach thing. Since you play those water guns, and the Wildwood Boardwalk has a ton of them.
Yeah, they do. Big fan.
Would you, if there were like a group of like 6 kids that are playing, and you want to win a plushie for your child,
Or for myself.
or would you compete against the kids?
See, this,
Or would you wait?
anybody like listening right now knows the answer is a quick yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
You would try to beat the kids for the plushie.
Who do you think I'm beating my own kids for the plushie?
You wouldn't at least
Absolutely.
wait till the next cycle when there are more adults there?
First of all, the only adults that are going to do that is because they're playing their kids, right? I'm not lining up. There's not like 10 adults that are going to line up to do the water guns that blow up a balloon.
Suppose there were all kids.
It was all kids?
All kids.
I've never seen it when it's all kids.
That's not the question.
Are some of those kids my kids?
No.
Oh, then
they're just all kids there. You can win going away. You know it. You got the aim.
Listen,
they don't.
Because I have better control over my hands and aim and my eyesight.
Yeah. See,
I'm still winning.
I would whip you in this. Now, here's why. Because I have a technique.
You don't think I don't?
What's your technique?
I'm not going to tell you.
Well, you can give it up now.
No,
Are people going to be on alert for you?
They might just watch me walk in the boardwalk.
Going to be a wanted poster?
No.
Amy Fadul?
No, I mean, I
water gun cheater?
I line it up. Also, I watch, if we're playing and you're usually having to wait a turn, I watch and see sometimes where the balloons tend to be.
Right, that's not the technique I
No,
use. That's why I would whip you.
No, I start early.
No. So here's my technique. I'll reveal it. You got to have the one that has the hose that stretches as long as it can. When you get this hose, you take it all the way out. You stretch it. You move it closer
See,
to
the
the
Wildwood
target.
Boardwalk, it's locked down.
Boy, I did it at the Wildwood Boardwalk.
It's locked down.
They
I got
didn't
video
lock
of
me
it.
down. I want to play. Ding! That was like the one that wasn't a balloon break. It was like, oh, no, it wasn't a balloon break.
blows
it
the
was a
balloon
balloon
up.
break,
Yeah. No,
But I stretch it as far out as possible. See, BG?
That's how
That water
have it.
gets
It's
there.
locked
The
up.
water gets there quicker
and stronger.
and stronger.
That's the thing because you've
The
lessened the
stream's there.
distance. Yeah, you've
Is
lessened.
that cheating?
I mean, listen, if they let you do it, it's not.
They let me do it.
If you
Using
look
your
around and the
resources
average
wisely.
age of the participants is over than 15, then I think that's fine. You're doing that to a 10-year-old?
Huh?
That's out of line.
Well, that's why I don't go when there's
Yeah.
10-year-olds.
If it's all 10-year-olds, I'll probably wait a turn.
I'll wait till there are
I'll
at
wait a
least
turn.
5 adults before I participate. Because I got the advantage, and I'm going to whoop their ass.
You got the in.
Really?
You don't need
so
the
I don't have
advantage.
to. I feel bad about whooping a kid, but other adults don't have the technique.
Gotta find my water.
I'm going to give you another technique. You know the softballs you throw in the basket? It's
No.
impossible.
You put
it's
a spin
impossible.
action on it.
It's impossible, though. Even if you put the spin, it's impossible. You have to actually toss it, hit the top ledge of the basket, and let it drop down and sit.
That's fair. It dies, hits the
It
top.
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
Yes. Technique.
Now, do they call
For
you
years
on
of
it?
playing these games.
Do they give you
There is nothing that says you can't do that. So you have a good argument.
I've seen those people get mad.
Oh
When
yeah.
They get
somebody
mad,
gets
but
the
they
better
can't.
of
Oh, yeah.
Like what? See, they're hourly employees. Like, do they give a crap they have to give away? Are they going to really fight to not give away a plushie? Like
I've seen it.
if you cause a stink though, no man, you're ripping
Yeah, if
me
you
off.
really-
You know
yeah.
that? All right, man, here you go.
Yeah, you don't want to scare everybody else away. But I've seen them, they get kind of mad. Like the carnies, too. Now, we're talking different things, but the carnies, they freak out.
Yeah, they don't want you to win though.
No.
The cornies.
They're yelling at you. Their last tooth comes out.
All right, then we had the All-Star selection. We haven't talked about the rip-offs yet. I think that Ranger Suarez got ripped off. As dominant as he's been, for him not to make the All-Star team is a crime.
I was surprised Trey Turner didn't get it.
Well, here's the thing. Nobody really has that much outrage here about Trey Turner, which leads me to this conclusion. He is one of the least popular good players we've ever had here. Do you sense any outrage that he did not make the All-Star
I
team?
think there was a fair amount.
There is? Do we have any outrage on the text board?
Not over Trey Turner.
Not as much.
I've seen like media members outraged with the stats and all that. But I don't think
Exactly.
I've seen
the fans don't get outraged. Now, he got ripped off. He's leading the league in hits. His defensive
mile.
metrics, believe it or not, and people that haven't studied this, he's got very few errors this year, and his fielding has been not superb, but solid. He should have made the All-Star team. There's one backup shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz, right? He should have made it. Nobody here cares that much about it. Why is that? Why is Trey Turner not as popular as he should be?
Maybe because people don't feel like he's lived up to his contract yet. I think there's a fair amount of people that think
Is he
should
not
be
living up to his contract this year?
better. This year, I meant just meant over at the course of it.
He's been close to a 300 hitter every year he's been here, right? He's made a lot of errors. Yeah, I get it. People look at the errors and go, he stinks. He is, in my opinion, one of the least popular good players we've ever had here. Nobody talks about it.
And what is
And
that?
why?
There's a level of,
Well,
like,
why is
apathy
it's a very interesting phenomenon in Philadelphia. Why is it that Trey Turner is one of the least popular good players we've ever had here? Any theories?
Is it like the pretty
in
boy?
theory-
I just
So
don't,
now,
know-
what-
I just
what
don't
is
know
it?
that he's popular. I don't know
He's
that
not
people-
popular.
But they just don't even regard him. I think
Right.
there's a certain level of like,
You're right.
there he is.
Why is that?
Because I think
can you
he's-
right now say
There's nothing about him, like he doesn't put himself, like Bryce Harper puts himself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he carries himself a certain way. I think Trey Turner is he's just a guy that's out there.
and that's interesting, isn't it? Because right now he's probably the best player on the team.
Position player, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Is it the mental stuff? Like, do people still look at that as a stigma out there that you hear so much about his mental fortitude and how he has to hit leadoff or he has to play shortstop or else he's going to, like,
I just think
do
people just don't
he-
think about him.
Has he ever said any of that stuff?
I mean, there's been the reports, though, that, like, Dave Dombrowski has said, we're not going to move him to second base because we don't want to mess with his head when he's hitting this
it's
well.
stupid to want to move him to second base. In general, it's a ridiculous premise to do to a major leaguer in the middle of a season. So the people that think that are idiots.
Well, people wanted to
All
move
right?
him to the outfield too.
Yeah, well, they're also idiots.
Yeah, I'm right there
you
with you.
can't do anything about a guy who's playing a regular position his whole life, and all of a sudden you're going to, in the middle of a season, move him to a position. It's not done in baseball.
I
It's just
think
not.
He's a guy that his stats speak for themselves, but there's nothing else for people to really like.
There's no there.
Right? It's like they can latch on to Alec Boehm for whatever. They
Right.
can latch on to Nick Castellanos for whatever, Bryce Harper for whatever, Kyle Schwarber, home run. Like, you know,
You can't latch on to Trey
like
Turner by anything because he's just a Trey Turner.
He's vanilla. Like, he's
He's
very
he's a
vanilla.
vanilla.
That's it.
He's a vanilla player. You're right.
Yeah, like he doesn't go out of his way to do
Vanilla's
anything.
He's a really good player.
Vanilla's sometimes a very solid choice when you're at the ice cream. If you really like to panic.
Well, I like vanilla. I like Trey Turner. I've always liked him. I think he's had when he makes errors, it's a lack of concentration, and that's something that's on him. But this guy got ripped off from the All-Star team, leading the league in hits. He got no acclaim for it, and nobody cares that much.
Yeah, not only leading the league in hits, he's first in every single major statistical category for National League shortstops.
Correct.
It's very strange.
Like, I get the fan votes one thing, but how does he not get added to the roster later on? Like, that's negligence, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I don't get it. And maybe we can explore that premise. We do have a caller who wants to talk about it. We'll get to Scott in a little bit. But I think it's really interesting that there really isn't a lot of harangue about Trey Turner not being selected to the All-Star team.
It's interesting because he obviously is deserving. How does he not? Whatever.
610-632
across the board.
0975. Look, Ellie De La Cruz. If I'm a manager, I want him in the All-Star game too. I get it. But I would say the guy's leading the league in hits. I got to have 3 shortstops this year.
Yeah, what's the harm in that?
All right, this is the year I got to have 3 shortstops on the roster. Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up at 2 o'clock.
Phillies at the Giants tonight. Late game. Interesting line on this game, Amy, for those that like to dabble. Tonight, the Phillies, after having to go cross-country, are favored behind Christopher Sanchez tonight
Sanchez.
in San Francisco. Minus 135. Is that a good bet, you think?
I think that is a good bet.
You like Sanchez tonight?
I do.
Against Loudon Roop?
I mean, I like him against their lineup, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cross-country trip? After the game yesterday? Fly out there?
In luxury? Yeah. I think
Fly out in luxury?
That's never been a thing for me. I've been on these planes. They're very nice. All the rules that apply to the rest of us when we're flying,
Really?
like your tray tables and all that stuff, none of that applies when you're flying private
Okay,
charter.
all right. It's a good point.
Stand up, you can
okay.
eat wherever you want.
Some reason I'm not feeling the Phils tonight. That line went down.
It went down?
It was at 155 at the start.
A lot
it
of
went
people like
down to
you.
135.
That tells you something more.
Getting me some thought process here. All right, let's go to the phones. We got Scott in Souderton. Scott, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up about Trey Turner here?
Yo, Mike, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Yeah, it's almost like, you ever have a job that's like thankless? Like a thankless
Like
position?
this one? yeah.
Yeah, reporting sports. No, you guys do an awesome job.
Yeah,
I listen
yeah.
to you for your
You can say you get ripped every day for something you said. Yeah, okay, thankless. No, I hear you.
Just hit your 300, steal 20 bags. We get on them about shortstop sometimes because you think about an error for about a week, but if you get 15 hits in a week and 5 bags, it's just what you're supposed to do at $300 million. I do think baseball and sports in general get way too involved in the sexy numbers, right? The home runs, the power numbers. So I think that's part of it. That's probably a big reason for it because the guy's having a great year.
I look at the guys. This guy is a really good player. And, like when he was making a lot of errors, people they're like the ridiculous play, like change into a position, right in the middle of the season. Blah, blah, blah. The guy has been a solid player for a lot of years in this league, and he is having a great year. I think does he have the least errors of any shortstop in the National League?
They are. Yeah, they're actually lower than I thought. Like when they
He had
said it on
9
the
errors.
broadcast the
I think
other
it's
day.
9.
Yeah, it's definitely under 10. And he's out there. You shortstop and catcher and center field. I mean, up the middle like that. You're not only hitting 300 and doing all that. You're playing defense every single day.
Yeah, I think it's more egregious because of that.
It's
That's why
almost
people
like
laugh
he
with people.
is an invisible man here. Like Harper is visible. He's got the fanatic shtick and the pandering and all that stuff. And Castellanos has that, whatever he's got. Sosa, he's got that sweat. And Alec Boehm's got the long hair. And the whole bit. This guy is like the invisible man.
Yeah.
You see through him.
It's like Tim Duncan. He just, although he never got snubbed on an All-Star, but he just puts his head down. He plays hard, and he's doing it well. And, frankly, an All-Star game doesn't mean anything to us. We won, obviously, the World Series, but the guy deserves an All-Star.
It's
bid.
amazing how we don't appreciate guys like him, but we'll appreciate the mediocre guy who's gritty, right?
Yeah.
Like the
'cause he's got
T.J. McConnells we fall in love with.
I
but
was waiting.
Yeah,
I knew it was
really.
coming.
We fall in love with him. And
knew
the Kevin Sefcik. Remember him? Played
Yeah.
second base for a while. We fall in love with him. He's gritty. I love him. And Trey Turner's like an all-star caliber player, and we have no affection at all for him.
I know. I feel it, man. I'm right there with you. You're spot on. He deserves it. He needs to be there.
All right, Scott, you got it.
All right,
I remember asking Terry Francona because I hated Kevin Sefcik. You remember him? You probably don't remember him. I know Brandon Gunn doesn't remember. But when Terry
I was not here
Francona,
when Tito was
Terry
manager.
Francona, Tito was the manager here in
Saw him over the weekend.
very lean
Yeah,
years.
that's a good point.
So I said, because I got Terry. What do you like this guy? And he goes, like him. I'd adopt him.
Oh, wow.
I go, what?
That's strong.
What the hell? You adopt? All right, let's go to Jeff in Doylestown. Jeff, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Jeff.
Hi, guys.
What's up, Jeff?
Great show. Well, I'll tell you, it's off the subject. We got Philadelphia got a women's basketball team. In what world does Josh Harris deserve to have another franchise in Philadelphia.
Uh-oh, Amy.
They ruined 15 years
Calls
of
for
hell,
you.
and now they give you another team.
Well,
It's just how it works.
Yeah, listen, Phil,
just
you
how it
got to
works.
look at it not like Josh Harris deserved the team. Philadelphia's an entity deserved the team, don't you think?
Yes, they do. So they
Yeah.
should find another owner. I mean,
Well,
it's insane that he has a big another team.
There are some things you can't do anything about, Jeff, right? And one of them is somebody who owns a team. What is your? Let's deal with what exactly is your beef with Josh Harris?
15 years of nothing. The only thing that I think they've done right, that turned out right, is Maxey. And if I was him, I'd do anything to get out of town. I mean, it's just the draft. He's signing the old players.
Well, it's not him.
It's just goes.
It's not. It's now. Now, if you're saying that he should be more. All right, yeah, you're right. If you're saying he should be more hands-on, you're probably right about that. But he doesn't know basketball from his elbow. All right, so like he's a venture capitalist. He hires people to do the job, and he looks at his entity, and it increases in value. That's what owners like that do.
We're stuck with them with the Sixers. Why would you give this organization?
Why would you not? If you're rewarding franchises,
there's probably better owners out there.
Well, you're the league, right? Why would you not give Philadelphia a team? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And
They're
he's
not
the one- I don't- yeah.
I would give Philadelphia a
Right, but
team.
who's
I wouldn't
he
give
is the
Josh
one
Harris's
right, but he's the one that stepped up and said with his Harris Blitzer sports group, they're the ones that said we will back it. And they already have the partnership with the Sixers and they're partners in the arena, so
They're not evaluating stuff like the Sixers haven't won.
yeah, he's the one that said we'll do it. And
He's
so they're
got
like,
money.
okay.
He's got financial backing.
That's
They couldn't find anybody.
it was not about finding it. They're the ones that offered. It wasn't like the WNBA didn't come to them and say, you better find somebody. Josh Harris and that group with the new building and the new arena being built,
Jeff.
they said, we've got another one.
Yeah.
I know how we can make
He's
it a
got
little
the
bit more fruitful.
resources to
Like
do
it's
it.
not, it wasn't you're saying you're saying it out of order.
Yeah, you're mad at the Sixers, and so you're taking it out on the women's basketball team.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
They haven't even started
Come on,
yet.
Jeff.
Yeah, I don't think.
We got 5 years.
Now, suppose the Sixers do the unheard of and become a contender in the Eastern Conference this year. Then what are you going to be saying about Josh Harris?
A broken clock is right twice.
No, you can't say that.
Can't get both of them.
Can't say that.
They're not going to be They're not going to be a contender.
You're sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes. Are you sure, Amy? Are they going to be a contender?
I'm not sure of anything.
I'm sure.
They'll be a top
I'm
5.
like
They
Jeff.
could be a top 5 team in the East. How about
The
that?
top 5.
6.
They
Top
could
6 team.
They could be a top 6 team in the East.
Yep.
Should I go out and buy Dom Perignon for that, or what should
No,
I?
there you go.
Should I get Starbucks
Top 6
coffee?
team
Like,
in
what's
the
the
East.
best I could do for that?
I don't know that you need to celebrate it at
Yeah,
all,
I
to be
know.
honest. Maybe I'll give it a nice
buy
golf
a
clap.
boardwalk lemonade.
I'll give it a second out of the 3rd inning clap. That's what I'll give it.
Second out of the 3rd inning.
That's what I gave it a clap.
All right.
I'm still clapping.
We got some Turner texts we're going to get in there. Why is it that now Gabby, who's answering our phones today, you want to talk to lovely Gabby, just call 610-632-0975. She works the Phillies Kids Club. And she says that he's very popular with the kids. Like
It's one of Shawnee's favorite players.
Okay, there you go. They have a lot of Turner T-shirts and they wear and the
He
whole
likes
bit.
that guy a lot.
He likes that guy. All right,
likes
so
him
the
'cause
kids
he's really good at
apparently-
baseball.
Yeah,
That's
he's
why
really
Sean
good.
likes him.
Oh, he looks
Sean
very-
likes him because he's good at baseball.
He's good at baseball. Yes, that's what the kids like to say. He's good at baseball.
Good at baseball.
Yes. But why don't the adults like him? We want to explore that. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Zach Wheeler dazzles on Sunday. I'm Brendan going with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in their series against the Cincinnati Reds over the weekend with a 3-1 win yesterday. Zach Wheeler was on the mound, and he was spectacular. Wheeler threw a complete game, 1 hitter, 1 batter away from a perfect game. Unfortunately, that 1 hit was a home run, led up to Austin Hayes. Wheeler Sunday got even better, though, after the game. He was named to the All-Star team along with teammate Kyle Schwarber. Notable Phils left off that roster, though, include Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, Sanchez and Trey Turner. The Phils hit the road tonight to begin a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound tonight. First pitch is at 9:45. The Sixers began Summer League action over the weekend, and rookie VJ Edgecombe had an impressive Summer League debut. He went for 28 points on Saturday night against the Utah Jazz and Ace Bailey. Summer League action continues tonight for the Sixers as they're set to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7. And the Flyers continue to make moves this offseason as the team announced a 5-year contract extension for defenseman Cam York this morning. This update was brought to you by the local Rheem Pro partners at thereemteam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with the high-efficiency AC system from Rheem, RHEEM. Find your Rheem Pro partner at thereemteam.com today. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.54, Beautiful day out there. Humid, a little humid. It looks like some moisture going to be coming through. But everybody had a good 4th of July weekend, I hope.
I hope so.
4th of July. Are there more barbecues on 4th of July or Memorial Day?
That's a great question. I was going to say Memorial Day, but I don't know. I feel like everybody grilled out. At least some point. Maybe it's... No, I'm going to say Memorial Day weekend. Because I think everybody's just beyond excited to get outside. It's just like, fire up the grill. It's 52 degrees. No one cares. Fire up the grill.
You know, I rehabbed the grill this year. Or yesterday.
Just yesterday, you
I rehabbed it.
the whole thing.
I was ready to throw it out.
Oh, and you
It's a
saved it?
smaller grill for me.
Gas or
served
charcoal?
My purpose, a small Weber. And I had
Charcoal?
I had rusty
Great.
grates. So I couldn't get replacement grates for them.
Right.
So I purchased one of those wire brush drill attachments.
For your... Okay. Yeah.
So
well, high speed. Yep. Buzz it on down.
got all the rust off, and I bought the stuff called Rust Restorer. And it's like a white milky liquid. I just gave it a shot. I go, I don't even know if this is going to work at all. You put it on with a brush. It literally reverses the rust process.
Really?
It's unbelievable.
All right.
It turns
I've
it.
got something like
it
that.
loses the rust.
Rust
right
restore.
before your eyes.
Oh, my God. You should do an infomercial for them.
Yes. And so once I got the rust removed, then I used the high heat black enamel spray.
Yeah. No, that stuff. Yeah.
Which lasts till 1,000 degrees, which your grill would never go up to.
Stuff.
And I got new grates. I'm
You
so
didn't have
proud
to-
of myself.
That's a pretty impressive move.
Very impressive move.
The drill to get like anything done like that, like a sander or
Yeah.
like to wear stuff on, is a real good move.
It's unbelievable.
always a good move.
So I put now in total, like new grill would have cost me $350.
Right.
So I spent $6 on the wire brush things on Amazon.
Steel,
I spent $9 on the Miracle Rust Restorer.
which is apparently.
I'm telling you, you got to get this stuff. I'll have to bring it in and show
I
it
want
to
to see
you.
it. I need to see it.
I pour it on. I put the brush. I go, oh my God, the rust reversed. It went back to metal.
I wonder how it oxidizes.
I don't know how it does it. I wasn't asking questions at that point. I go, look at
Oh
this.
yeah, you're just happy with
Pretty
the work.
amazing.
You're just happy
and
with
then
the
I
work
sprayed it. I go, oh my God. I kept going out to my grill looking at it.
because it's
Look
all
at-
shiny.
Look what I did. So that was $8 for the paint, $9 for the rust restorer, $6 for the wire brush things. What's that, BG? What's the total on that, Mr. Math?
I am not Mr. Math.
9 and 8 is 17, and 6 is 23.
There you go.
$23 to rehab my
Under
grill.
25
Saving
bucks.
like $300 right there.
Exactly right.
That's economics.
It's more than $300 if it's 350, 26. Like 324.
There you go. I was a communications major for a reason.
All right, let's get to some.
I was told there'd be no math.
That was not part of the job description here.
Let's get to some Turner texts. What do you got?
We got Mike in Coatesville checking in saying it's all a mirage with Turner. He'll bat .230 after the All-Star game and do nothing in the playoffs.
Wow.
Except maybe a couple of errors.
Wow.
See, this is what I
The
mean.
forecasting, but that's a lot of hate. I just think he just doesn't elicit opinions sometimes.
Let
but
me read this stuff.
That's a lot of
because
hate.
this is like from my text, which is Mike Miss 25. Chris. Trey Turner should have about 30 errors. Double plays he fumbles, balls he takes his time on, and runners beat it out. He's been amazing at the plate, but the kid from Cincinnati is a better hitter and fielder. Okay, fine. He was selected. I'm saying you select him too. Turner is terrible fielding. You must not have been watching. Here's what I watch. His defensive metrics are really good, and he got the fewest errors of any shortstop in the league.
he's not a terrible. I get that he doesn't always make the plays spectacular, and you want him to, but he's not a terrible.
Did we pay Trey
Double
Turner?
plays he fumbles.
Did we pay him $300 million to
We
be
pay
a great
him to
defensive
hit.
shortstop?
We pay him to hit.
I don't want Freddie Galvis.
Oh,
Well, I'm
Freddie
talking
Galvis?
about this year. You don't even have a beef with the fielding. Like, you had a beef at one point. You don't have that same beef. You can't give me a text with that beef. All right.
Also got
One more.
Terrence in Wilmington checking in,
What's he
saying,
got?
I think Trey Turner as the number 2 player on the Phillies is less respected, especially in a city where you talk about the number 2s on some teams being beloved, like a John LeClaire was the true Robin to Eric Lindros. Trey Turner does not get that same respect for some reason.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
the
trying to
question.
get to it here. But, Mr. Wonderful had the golden sombrero yesterday. 4 strikeouts. He never gets criticized.
I wouldn't say never. There's definitely a lot more hate that's coming his way right now.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about that a little later in the show.
Yeah.
Right now, you're listening to Mike Missanelli Show, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the news at noon, or the noon at news.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Brendan Gunn with us today. Ray Dunn is off. What do you got cooked up today, BG?
Well, it's fitting you're talking about cooking, you're talking about grilling while you were away. The Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest went down. 70 and a half hot dogs eaten by one of the greatest athletes of all time, Joey Chestnut, on
God.
Friday.
One of the greatest athletes of all time.
Of our generation.
Yes.
70 and a half. How many days, years, months would it take you guys to eat that? And also, is it a violation? It's an argument I got into over the weekend. Is it a violation to put ketchup on a hot dog?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
gross.
that goes without saying. It's a
No.
total violation.
Mustard only.
Mustard only.
The condiment.
Well,
It's
you
a
put
mustard.
you put
You
you
can put
look
other
like a ketchup on a hot
I
dog
look
type
like
of guy.
that
No,
is
he
one of the
doesn't.
meanest things
He
I've
does
ever
not.
heard in my life.
You look like a
You're not?
strict,
Oh, just yellow mustard.
yeah, yellow mustard.
Maybe a spicy mustard here or
I'm a
there.
spicy mustard.
First of all,
guy.
let me quibble with this greatest athlete. Enough of this. Enough
That
of
man
this greatest
trains.
athlete. This guy, I've had enough of him. Now,
Yeah, but
first
he
of
just
all,
came back.
he had and he came back with a lesser total than what he had last year. All right,
He's getting
waning.
older.
We
He's
ripped
getting
Trey
older.
Turner in this city. We're not going to rip Joey Chestnut for fewer hot dogs.
Oh, I don't. It is just an obscene amount of hot dogs to think about.
It's disgusting. It
Can't
is
even
disgusting.
Well, the woman that won, she was like 33 hot dogs.
In 10 minutes?
Oh.
I don't think I eat that in a year. Or 2 years or 5 years.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
I gotta be honest with you. I had a hot dog eating contest on the air once in my illustrious history, and my producer, his name was Bubba. He was 320 pounds, and he challenged me to a Texas wiener eat off on the air. I remember you don't remember Texas wieners, but they used to be in South Philly. They used to have fish cakes and Texas wieners. They were fantastic. These Texas wieners, and I demolished them. I ate 10 in a half hour.
Could you
Yeah.
go on with the rest of the show?
I could go on.
would
They were
eat
so
them.
good that I was so hungry that I ate 10 of them.
You weren't getting the meat sweats?
He quit at 7. No, I didn't get
Bubba.
the meat sweats at all. I can't do that now, but like back in the day, I did it.
That was
No,
nuts.
but that's still up far from 70 to Joey Chestnut. I can never beat Joey Chestnut.
it's just
But
it's
but
gluttonous. It's disgusting.
I'm
In
tired
10
of this
minutes.
guy.
That was a half hour. 10 minutes.
How do you not barf that up? But
I'm tired of this guy getting this kind of acclaim. I really am.
moving on to a more somber story. Over the weekend, Bobby Jenks, former closer for the White Sox, passed away. All-star, closed out the game for the World Series when they won it in 2005. ESPN social media manager, I guess maybe a young person, maybe not, was getting some flack over the weekend for their headline they tweeted out. It said, quote, Bobby Jenks, a two-time All-Star pitcher for the White Sox, who was on the roster when they won the World Series
who
in
was on the
2005,
roster?
died on Friday.
You can't-
AJ Pierzynski took exception to it, former
I made
teammate
it
of
seem
his.
like he was like an also-ran, like a guy that just got the ring because he was on the roster.
Yeah, they had to come back out later on and say Bobby Jenks began the 2005 World Series save. He had a hell of a career and all that. They had to go out there and correct it. But, Mike, as a former journalist and all that, is it fair or foul for people to be coming at ESPN for that headline?
No, it's not unfair. Because like that person you obviously said is a young person who didn't remember that Kurt Schilling pitched 2 games in the '93 World Series. And so it's the same principle. The person didn't know there was a star closer for the time.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was unnecessary. Why did you have to put that on there?
Yeah, it was. You didn't.
Who
have
was
to put
on
that
the
at all.
roster?
Who was on? You don't have
was
to.
on
Well,
the roster.
so you're saying it should have been
disrespectful.
who was the star closer
No, it
on the
just
blah blah
should've
blah
said-
blah
Closed
blah.
out the game. Yes, when they won.
A member
Okay,
of the.
obviously you didn't know that was the star closer. Just knew it was on the roster. Just
Yeah.
like you didn't know Kurt Schilling was the star starting pitcher in '93.
I knew.
I think you just
You
put
got a lot
member.
of balls. I'll tell you that.
You said it so matter of factly that I was alive. I wasn't alive in 1993.
Yeah, well, he forgot
But
to
this
carry
person
the
probably
one.
wasn't alive either. How long ago was this person might have been 21?
This is the
who
difference
wrote
between
this.
live radio and quoting multiple drafts of a tweet to put out.
You got to do some research. That's
No.
what I'm saying.
But the
Do some
thing is,
research.
You just put the word member. He was a member of it. Then you could quibble with whatever.
Yeah, he was
you don't even
on
put
the
on the
roster.
roster. Made it seem like he was like Clayton Kershaw was on the roster last year for the Dodgers. Yeah, he was on the roster. he
Wilson
didn't do anything.
Valdez was on the roster.
Right, like that's what you do. Like that's,
Adam Eaton, like-
to me, it was a very strange way to put that.
Well, the person did not know.
But that's the
my
thing.
point. It's
But
the
why-
Brendan Gunn principle.
You just have to put member of the World Series team. Just call it a day.
Star closer for the World Series team.
that.
That's what you do if you do some research. Star pitcher for the National League Championship Series against the Atlanta Braves in '93.
And he couldn't hold a candle to Zach Wheeler
Didn't
or
get
Roy
a decision
Halladay.
though. So
No decisions.
no decision.
Moving on.
Tommy Green did.
Another great player for his time in the NBA has announced that next season is going to be his last. Chris Paul going on the farewell tour. Does every single
honestly,
player need a farewell
There's
tour?
people that are going to be like, "Oh, he's still here? That's so fun! Look at you." I thought last year was his farewell tour.
Do we need a farewell?
Does
tour for
everybody
Chris Paul?
need a
Does Chris Paul need a farewell tour?
Like LeBron James, whenever he hangs it up,
Fine.
yes, give it
Okay,
to him.
go crazy.
Kobe deserved it when he
Yeah,
did his.
I'll give you Dwayne Wade even.
Does everybody
But not
need
really.
one? Chris Paul? The guy
Honestly,
hasn't
there's
even
gonna be
been to the
people that are gonna
finals,
roll in and be
besides
like,
the Suns
Chris
once.
Paul's still here? God, yay!
By the
good
way,
for
I had
you.
an NBA official tell me that Chris Paul was the worst human being he ever encountered.
Really?
Yes.
Seems strong.
Yeah, that's what he literally said to me. He said he's a miserable SOB.
No way.
Yes. He gives like the public doesn't see the nonsense that he gives officials.
I've seen video
Yeah,
montages
you've
of
seen,
him
where
like
he
hitting
jaws
guys
back and forth.
He'll hit guys in the gonads and act like he didn't do it.
Yeah, he's like
Like,
one of
he
those
smiles
cats.
about it.
One of those cats. How come we have no music left?
We're handing out.
It died. We're going to break.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it? That's it for News at Noon?
I thought it was three.
I thought
Ray
you
told
had
me it
one
was
more.
three.
Didn't you have one more?
Oh, I can give you one more.
You got one more?
Oh, it was just a fun, lighthearted one. But your
Okay.
buddy who
Give me a fun, lighthearted one
Yeah.
before we go to break. Go ahead.
your buddy who is usually in this seat, Mr. Philadelphia,
Yeah.
walks everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah?
Me and Amy got into it with him on Friday.
Yes.
He
I mean,
has
especially
never.
since you like fireworks.
What?
He has never seen fireworks.
Ray Dunn has
In
it?
One
in
time
Philadelphia.
in Philadelphia
He's
on the
never
4th of July.
stayed here and seen any fireworks in the city of Philadelphia.
He's tucked away in the burbs.
No,
He's tucked
he
away.
just goes away.
He goes
Oh,
away.
He goes away every
He's been-
4th of
He was
July?
in Chicago last year. He was in the burbs years ago. He go down the shore. He's never been in Philadelphia ever for a 4th of July
The guy's been
celebration.
everywhere.
He
and
walks
has
everywhere.
never been here for fireworks on the 4th of July in the birthplace of
He
independence.
brags about going to school in the city.
Right?
He brags
Never-
about that part of it.
Walking
All right.
everywhere. I walk from Northern Libs to South Philly.
All right, let's quit now. All right, that's enough. That's news. It's
forgot about that.
now it's time for a break. It's the Mike Missanelli Show back after this.
Monday, July 7th, the Phillies
5. Okay, so we have a text about Joey Chestnut. You agree with this? Brandon Gunn thinks that Joey Chestnut is a tremendous athlete of our generation. So we have a text also saying the same thing, right?
Yeah, we got, funnily enough, the guy's name is Brendan. Brendan in, where the heck did it go?
Delco?
Glenside.
Oh,
Glenside
close
says,
enough.
top 3 athletes of this generation. Michael Jordan 1, Tom Brady 2, Joey Chestnut 3.
It's obviously with a tongue in cheek there. Because I think Joey Chestnut's a slob. Come on, man. This is your whole life.
What do you think you have a better shot at doing?
Oh, Mike, he banked. He made bank. Okay, he made bank. He's a slob who eats hot dogs.
Do you think you have a better shot of hitting that Michael Jordan shot against, the Jazz back in the 90s, or eating 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes? They place you in Michael Jordan's shoes in that shot.
I don't even want to acknowledge the fact that he eats 70 hot dogs is an athletic event.
It's not an athletic event. It's an event.
Like, you could go out there,
embarrassing.
in theory, and chuck up 1,000 of those Michael Jordan shots. You might hit one, but I don't think you're eating 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's not chucking up 1,000 shots. You're making one shot.
I try to ignore this whole thing.
You can
making
fumble
one
the ball
shot.
like Brady, and they can
really
change
do.
the rules for you, but they cannot eat 70 and a half
we're talking
dogs.
about Joey Chestnut, and we're in the midst of Trey Turner, his rank among shortstops, and here it is: batting average first, hits first, stolen bases tied for first, doubles tied for first, runs second, triples tied for second, OPS 802 tied for third. No, he's got third. How in the world do you not select him and have 3 shortstops on this roster?
Because you just have to.
And how are you not outraged? How are the people here not outraged about this?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
That's why.
He's vanilla.
I guess so.
Okay, he's vanilla.
The one guy just said he's going to fall off a cliff after the All-Star
he's gonna
break.
hit 230.
That's a little bit extra vitriol. The guy's been a great player this year, and it's just like, well, you know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, sir.
That's what I mean. Like,
You can't-
why? Where
Is that why
does
he's not
this
gonna be an all-star?
Where's the vitriol come
I don't know why you have a
from?
lot of vitriol for him.
We got another texter checking in. Mike from Warminster says he keeps telling his buddy Trey Turner's having a great year, and his buddy's response is, quote, yeah, let's see how he does in the postseason.
This is the thing I don't get. What is it about the guy that does not connect? Because somewhere along the line, you got to go, he's a solid player.
Yeah.
Like, I really like this guy. He's a solid player. Nobody ever says it.
I think they just don't say it very loudly. It's not the overall. It's not the overall arc when you talk about Trey Turner, because it's just easier for people to either not regard him or hate on him.
He gave them a reason to hate on him because he had shoddy fielding at one point.
And he wasn't very. He's had some stretches when he first got here where he was. His numbers were not very good.
Exactly. Like he didn't light it on fire after that World Baseball Classic where he lit it on fire. He really
It was
struggled.
just like, oh, I need you to bat 315.
Right. I get it. But
But at
he's
some
one
point,
of
you
the,
have to look at what he's doing right now in its own
Yeah, I'm going to
entity.
compile this list of the least popular good players we've ever had. And I guarantee you he's got the top slot. Can you think of anybody else, any other good player?
Andre Iguodala is definitely up there.
Yeah, but he would
For no reason,
He
you're
annoyed
saying.
me. He annoyed me.
He was a good player.
He was
People
least
didn't like
popular
him.
for me. He was least popular because he thought he was better than he was.
I think his contract said he was better than he was. I don't know that he thought that.
Well,
he was good. He literally helped the Warriors win.
He turned down an extension because he thought he was worth more, and he wound up getting it.
And he did get it.
Like,
and he
was
won.
Jonathan Papelbon.
Oh,
He was hated, but he was hated for a reason. But he's also the all-time leader in saves in franchise
that
history.
is just, well, yeah, he brought that on himself.
How about Bobby
Yeah.
Abreu? Was he one of the least popular players for being a good player? Because I didn't like him either. There was something about him that I didn't like. But I like
He was
Turner.
scared of going to the wall. Like,
Yeah.
And I heard from a lot of people he would show up late all the time.
Oh.
He wasn't like one of those gung ho team guys.
But there's nothing like that with Turner. There's like
there's nothing except for just like having a slow
That's what I'm
start
saying.
in your contract.
He's at the top of the list in this city. Now, I've been here for a long time now, right? One of the least popular good players you ever had. He's got to be at the top of the list. And I don't get it. And when we appreciate the scrums of the world in this town, the gritty 230 hitters that we love.
What about McNabb?
That's a good one. There's some people that will, but there are some people that will they will. That's the hill they will die on. They will defend Donovan McNabb. But for the vast majority, people are just
He
On
made-
Turner, yeah.
He made his own unpopular bed, though, McNabb. He whined constantly about getting booed at the draft. He did stupid things like air guitar, picking up a phone on the sidelines. He was a goof, and people didn't like that about him. So you had reason.
I think
he
they just
wasn't
didn't like
popular.
it because then when he did that stuff, it made him unpopular. Because like when Chad Ochocinco did that stuff, they thought it was great.
Yeah,
It's the same exact act.
but he couldn't pull it off. He could never pull off cool.
Well, then
McNabb.
that's you didn't hate him because of the air guitar. You just thought he wasn't good at the whole that wasn't his thing. You thought he didn't look cool doing it.
He tried too hard
All right.
to be cool.
Well, Trey Turner maybe doesn't try hard.
Trey Hart.
But I don't need him to try hard.
He doesn't try to do anything. He just goes
Maybe
out and
that's why.
plays.
So like the guys that
But-
you're
but-
naming, like Papelbon.
They have
Well, I was
reasons
saying
to
you have,
very
you have
unpopular.
reasons.
Yeah.
You don't have any reasons for Turner,
Yeah.
which I don't get. We appreciate vanilla players in this town who are gritty. Well, he's kind of gritty.
Does it go back to his opening press conference when he refused to put on the Phillies hat for the pictures because he didn't want to mess his hair up for dinner? Like, that doesn't scream Philly to you,
Wait a
right?
minute, he did that?
I thought it was
Yes.
a jersey.
I think it was the hat. He wouldn't put the hat on because he said he
that
didn't want to
up.
mess his hair up.
He said that?
Yes.
Is that what he said?
I don't remember him
I'll
saying
find the
that.
quote for you
fine.
guys at the break.
Well, that would, set him off in a bad direction in this city. But I'm telling you, like, you look at him now, you look at his production, all he does is go out and he plays and he plays and he plays and he doesn't say anything and he's not, he doesn't loaf going to first base. Like, he doesn't do any of the things that you would make you dislike him. And yet he's not that popular. And it's an outrage that he's not on the All-Star team. And people don't give a crap. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Zach Wheeler dazzles on Sunday. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in their series against the Cincinnati Reds with a 3-1 win yesterday. Zach Wheeler was on the mound and he was spectacular. Wheeler threw a complete game, 1 hitter, 1 batter away from a perfect game. Unfortunately, that 1 batter was Austin Hayes, who took him deep. Wheeler Sunday did get a bit better after the game, though. He was named to the All-Star team along with teammate Kyle Schwarber. Notable Phils left off that roster include Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and Trey Turner, the National League leader in hits. The Phillies hit the road tonight to begin a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 9:45. The Sixers began Summer League action over the weekend, and rookie VJ Edgecombe had an impressive Summer League debut. He went for 28 points on Saturday night against the Utah Jazz and Ace Bailey. Summer League action for the Sixers continues tonight as they're set to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at 7. And the Flyers continue to make moves this offseason as the team announced a 5-year contract extension for defenseman Cam York this morning. This update was brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This these fun little games sometimes you play online. It's like you got $15 to build.
Oh, yeah, the teams or whatever.
No, you get $15 to build your 4th of July cookout.
Oh,
So at $5, you can buy Saquon from the Eagles, Michkov from the Flyers, Harper from the Phillies, Maxey from the Sixers. At $4, A.J. Brown, Kyle Schwarber, Jared McCain. I can't see who this flyer is.
that's a hefty price for Jared McCain.
Who's that flyer? You know who that flyer is? With the A. I can't tell who that flyer is.
You can't tell. It's like not very
No,
good.
flyers are tough to pick up these days.
I mean, Michkov, I know they're
Michkov's
doing
a steal. That's my $5.
You taking Michkov at $5?
gotta look that up.
Okay, yeah, I don't know who the second
bringing the
flyer is.
vodka.
But anyway, it's A.J. Brown, Kyle Schwarber, Jared McCain. McCain would be fun.
Yeah, it's expensive.
At
though. He's
$3.
more
All
than $3
right,
player.
so you're using $5 right away on Michkov.
Yeah.
All right, so you
I'm
got
building my team.
you
Right?
got 10 left. Would you go with any
bet
of the
that-
$4 ones?
Is that Travis Konechny?
It might be Konechny. Yeah, okay, that's Konechny. Konechny, Brown, Schwarber, McCain. You using $4 for any of those?
Schwarber. No,
You
wait,
gotta
no. I need to. I got.
Oh, you got to get the rest of them. All right, at $3, you got I can't tell who that flyer. Who's number 27 from the Flyers?
Is that?
27.
I mean, Ron Hextall's the first name.
You got Castellanos.
Noah Cates.
Oh, it's all right. Noah Cates. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
Are they paying you $4 to bring Noah Cates to your barbecue?
He's $3. He's $3.
Right.
He's a steal.
They should be paying
So I got
you
Noah.
$15.
I got Noah Cates for my $3.
Yeah, you got Noah Cates.
Do I have to choose
you
one
got,
from each?
Castellanos.
Who's my Sixer for $3? So Jared McCain's a $3.
Embiid.
Oh yeah, they're done.
How is it being
And
cheaper than
you're,
Jared McCain?
And your
My
your $3 Eagle is Mr. Iowa.
Oh, Coop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Joel in that case.
You gonna take Joel?
Yeah.
All right. So that's
I've got-
$3 on Joel.
I've got $8.
You've got $8. You got $7
$7
left.
Okay. And I haven't chosen my $4 player nor my $2 player. Is there a $1 player as well?
There is a $1
Perfect,
player.
okay.
A $1 player is Hurts, believe it or not.
That's ridiculous.
Hurts is a $1.
That says more about anything else. They've got Jared McCain as a $4 player, and Jalen Hurts is a $1 player.
Your $2 players, you got some bargains here.
Okay, apparently.
You got Carter.
Okay.
Eagle is your Eagle guy.
Right, like that.
Number 8 for the Flyers. I'm sorry, man. I just don't know these Flyers. Number we apparently
trying to get there.
we have a problem identifying Flyers and like they're
Cam York.
that's
Yeah, so I have
Cam.
a better,
Cam
I have a better
York
chance of
He's a
like
lot
looking.
richer
Cam York,
today.
yeah, he just
Yeah.
signed a 5-year deal. Although Cam York,
I have a better look.
Wheeler, he's not exciting though.
Oh, am I building a winner?
$2, and Paul George.
Okay, that's no.
You're out with George.
No.
Are you in with Wheeler or Cam York or Jalen
Jalen
Carter?
And I have $7 left.
You have
How many-
$7 left.
Give me wheels.
You want wheels
Yeah.
at $2?
Give me wheels for $2.
Okay.
So now I have
You
$5 left.
You got $5 left. You
Oh,
can
see,
go
I-
another
you
$5.
know what? Give me Jalen Carter as well. Is it just one $2 player?
No, you can grab.
I can get more than
grab
one.
a $2 player.
Okay, give me Jalen Carter as well.
All right, Carter.
So now I have $3 left.
You do have $3 left.
Either I can go.
And you can go with 3 number 1s, or you can go with another $3 one, and that
No,
would be
there's-
Coop.
No.
No, you're not going Coop?
I already have Jalen Carter. I got a defensive player.
Coop, you get $15 to build your roster. You're going to need about $2,000 just to fill the whole house with the alcohol. He's going to need. The guy's been up and down the
that's
coast.
correct.
I enjoy it.
So $1.
Who are my $1 guys?
Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. Yeah, put him on the board.
Oh
Oh goodness! Just let me see the
No,
player.
I know. It's the captain.
Sean Couturier.
Couturier.
I was like,
Couturier
come on,
for $1. Turner,
yes.
Trey,
Give me another one.
and Justin Edwards.
This is, I love it. I got. I'll take all of them. I still have. No, I have.
You have
$3.
You have $3 left.
So
You
I took
going
Jalen Hurts.
You
I'll
taking
take-
Hurts for
yep,
$1?
I'll take Trey Turner,
You take Trey for $1.
and then who's my other guy?
You got Couturier and Justin Edwards. Couturier's got no. There's nothing exciting about him coming to.
Justin Edwards, Imhotep.
You can buy. He can be
Justin Edwards, there's nothing either. You want to revise this and go back to a $3
I kind of
player?
want to go like maybe I don't want to revise it because I want to take Jalen Hurts and then give me Kyle Schwarber. There's my $5.
Couturier could be the entertainment
Oh, wait
for
a
the
minute. So
kids.
you're-
Like, look at that guy with no teeth.
You're taking Trey off,
I'm taking Trey off.
and you're going Schwarbs
Yeah,
for $2.
Schwarbs was I believe.
All right. Brendan Gunn, what are you going with? The $5
No, I
one.
was taking Justin Edwards off and putting in.
You got Justin Edwards on there?
Yeah, didn't you give me $3 guys?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you did take Justin Edwards. I didn't.
Well,
hear
I
you
didn't
take
know.
it.
I didn't have like.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So you're
Saquon
taking-
was a 5, right?
Yeah. Sorry. So let's go. Saquon's definitely it for me. So
Yeah,
that's-
I'm putting Saquon on that.
I'll spend 5 on Saquon.
Schwarber was 4.
Michkov, you taking for 5? You want to take Meach? Would probably be. I'm taking Saquon and Michkov.
Yeah,
I'm using up my.
Can't speak Russian.
I'm using
doesn't
up.
have to. I can speak Michigan move. I can speak hockey. Get out there,
Put
fella.
the biscuit in the basket.
I'm
Oh,
definitely
sure.
taking McCain because I think he'd
That
be
is
highly
so
entertaining.
rich.
So that's $4.
I'm taking MB.
You're
for
$14 though. You got what? You have a
I
dollar
got
player. And Trey
Saquon,
Turner.
Michkov, McCain, and $1 one.
Trey Turner, you're gonna take.
And I'm going to go, yes,
Yeah.
because he got snubbed at the All-Star team. I'm
the fact that he's
appreciating.
$1 and Jalen Hurts is $1 and Jared McCain's a $4 player.
All right, so
I love Jared McCain, but
that's
he's not a
crazy.
$4
So whose cookout are you coming to, Brendan Gunn? This is Amy's. Michkov, Joel, Wheeler, Jalen Carter, Hurts, Trey, Schwarber.
Yes.
Or Saquon, Michkov, McCain, Trey.
I got to take the more bang for the buck there
you
with
can
all the
There's
names
too many
there.
guests. She's got too many guests.
Yeah, but it's a
Oh,
You
potluck.
can't spread it around. You
It's a
can't spend enough
potluck.
time with guys.
I might
It's a
not get
potluck.
enough dogs.
Yeah, it's
The
a
burgers
potluck.
might be gone.
It's a potluck. Everybody brings a dish.
Let me recount you here. Let me recount you.
Is that
Michkov
$15?
5, Joel 3. That's 8.
Mm-hmm.
Wheeler, that makes 10. Jalen Carter's 12. Hurts 13. Trey 14. You don't have Schwarber.
Oh.
You can't have Schwarber.
You got another $1 one.
You got to take
I don't
Trey
want
off.
another dollar
Take
one.
Trey off and bring Schwarber in.
Okay.
See? Trey gets disrespected again.
It's my
That's the
cookout.
better of the two
Trey,
options.
My cookout.
Amy's even taking him off.
My cookout. Strawberry is going to be fun at a cookout, right?
A lot of fun.
Right? You play wiffle ball
Michkov's
in the
gonna-
back
I just
there?
want to see him run like Ted.
Michkov's going to bring borscht to my cookout.
And vodka.
All right, let's go to the phones. Brian in Wallingford. Brian, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Mike.
What's
Thanks
up,
for
buddy?
taking
How you
the
doing?
call. Just have a question or comment on the Trey Turner point.
Yes, sir.
But before that, Mike, can I have 20 seconds to give Brendan a hard time?
Sure. Take more than 20 seconds.
All right. Brendan, my kids go to Strathaven. I live in probably the area where you grew up.
Great
And
school. I did grow
they're
up in
half
Wallingford.
Your age. Yeah, they're half your age, and they know about Cole Hamels in 2008. So I don't.
The
get
man
how
is
you
in
didn't
sports
know about
media.
Schilling.
He doesn't know that Kurt Schilling was the
I
MVP.
did not know that. You said it
Exactly.
so matter-of-factly that I was alive that I started questioning my own self-existence. That I know 93, but when else did it happen?
Guy was the MVP.
I knew that.
93. They made a charge to the World Series. They were in the World Series that year. You don't know the history of that?
It's not what I said. You're taking me out of context. I said.
Wow, Brendan, I just needed to give you a hard time, man.
Shout
But
out to your
Mike's
kids in
right,
Strathaven, though.
100%. Mike's right, 100%. But, Mike, on the All-Star point, I just wonder if it's like a general larger apathy in terms of no one really cares about All-Star games anymore. We just want to win the World
Oh, I
Series.
disagree. I think that people still care about Phillies. They're Phillies making an all-star team. I really do. It's a source of pride. It's a source of local pride when you have some hometown team,
Yeah.
guys make an all-star team.
But no one cares about the Pro Bowl.
The Pro Bowl's
Yeah, it's
different.
different, though.
Yeah, that's a non-entity. I mean, the baseball All-Star game is important.
And the best players are never in the Pro Bowl because they're in the Super Bowl.
Correct.
I always have an issue with that.
That's a good point, Amy. Anyhow, Mike, that was my point. I just wonder if it's tied up in a general, like, no one
No,
cares
but do
anymore.
you realize? I think people care more that the pitchers didn't make this All-Star team than Turner. I mean, I scan social media all the time, right? I've gotten very few supporters or people that are angry that Turner didn't make it or actually think that he got robbed because people don't care about the player. And I go, how do you not care about a really good player? He's at the top of my list as the least popular good player we've ever had here.
That could be true, and who knows why, but
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to.
It's
Why?
been awesome. He's hitting 300.
Well, so why? What is it? Why is there the separation between the fan base and Trey Turner?
I don't know, Mike.
Well, that's your homework assignment, Brian.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for taking the call.
All right, man. You got it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm trying to find out from people. The people that we're talking to are the people that don't give him the acclaim. So why don't you give him the acclaim? 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Kincade and Salciunas.
Which is brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months. Rebates, tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. I have a message to the parents out there who have a kid that's pretty good in sports. Spend all kinds of money that you can to get that kid to be a college player. That's what I say. The NIL money, Amy, is now gotten to the most ridiculous point that I've ever seen. Did you see this story about the offensive tackle who's going to Texas Tech? His name is Felix Ojo. He's committed to Texas Tech. He signed a 7-figure revenue share contract with Texas Tech that is worth, fully guaranteed, by the way, 3-year, $5.1 million.
There's a guy that's getting $10 million to go single-handedly at BYU.
Yeah. Well,
That's
apparently
a revenue share. Revenue share is a different deal now.
Okay, it is?
It just started.
Okay.
Yeah, it just started.
But, like, if you have a kid, like, why would you not spend the money to get the kid goes to college to become a millionaire?
Yes.
You don't even have to get to the professional level anymore. It's fantastic.
I know. It's great. Good for them.
Does that contribute to an Ace Bailey saying, I'm not going to this team if I don't want to go to this team. I'm already rich.
Well, it does, but you can't do anything about that part of it. You can only do that. You can bargain shop in college now. So why not bargain shop?
And you could and they shop after a year.
I mean, it's mayhem. It's like completely out of control. I don't know how it affects me as a fan of college athletics. I guess it doesn't affect me at all if they had these collectives.
You really like your player, and then all of a sudden you get out, your team gets outbid. Like you're a big Penn State guy, right? And so you bring in Joe Schmo quarterback. You guys give him $3 million, and then he has a really good year, and then Texas calls and says we can give you 10, and then he's gone.
Yeah, and it's not like they can pass that off to the consumer. It's not like professional. When professionally you can pass it off to the consumer.
It's already been passed off. I mean,
it is. But in college, it's like these collectives. It's like it has nothing to do with the university's not going to charge you extra for beer now.
No, because it's money that's raised outside of that.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nuts. So his list was Colorado, Florida, Michigan, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Utah, and Texas Tech. No Penn State on that? Oh, that I don't want.
How much money? How much money? How much money? How much playing time? What's it gonna? It's
I guess Texas Tech
they're spending a lot.
Gave the most.
Or
now they have this thing called the Matador Club, right? And so they lured this transfer phenom for the softball team.
Yes.
From Stanford.
Yeah, last year.
On a
last year. 1
year, $1.5 million deal.
Yeah.
To bring her to. Man, I tell you, it's not even conceivable what these colleges can do now. Like it used to be, get your recruiting shoes on and do the best you can.
She helped them to the College World Series, though.
Yes, she did.
So,
I guess it's worth it, right? Did they win the College World Series?
I feel like they lost. Why do I think that? No. Yeah, I feel like they lost. Why do I think they lost? I got to look it up.
Well, it wasn't worth it.
I mean, they were kind of an also-ran. They hadn't been in there. Texas won. Yeah,
Texas won it.
They were in the final.
It's back to the phones. Jordan in Cherry Hills on the line. Jordan, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Jordan?
Mike, what's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Yo, so game one, it's the guru, by the way, so you know the line of conversation.
Yes, yes.
How do you feel about the kid VJ after game one?
It's game one in a summer league. So, like,
I'm going to go on.
Listen. I have to project like his pro potential, and I agree. Like Amy, he's going to be a role player off the bench. I don't expect that he's going to have that type of success his first year.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'm more excited about this kid than I've been since Allen Iverson of anybody the Sixers have drafted.
Really?
Usually you're right on with an eye test, and I don't understand it. The body control that this kid at 19 years old already, coupled with the size, and not to mention, if you saw that granted, one summer league game of tape, but you saw this in college as well. His form, you can't teach that form, right? Like you can attempt to, but the way that his body moves naturally, that's special. Now you couple that with the size and the fact that we finally have a guard that can play defense and loves to play defense. Oh, and by the way, if somebody decides they can pass the ball, they have to look at the back of their head to make sure he's not coming baseline to posterize them every time down the floor on defense. We haven't had that in how many years on this 16?
I love your excitement.
Me too.
I just go, he's going to have to do that against pro players who can defend in this league, and it's going to be really tough for him. He's a little bit wild. I think he's a little bit wild.
What do you think about a Tracy McGrady comparison? A healthy Tracy McGrady?
Well, McGrady was 6'8".
A little bit smaller.
Bigger.
Right, a little bit smaller, but the way he moves. I don't know. I just see it.
I try not to get overboard in evaluating a guy in a summer league.
Yeah, because Jared McCain had a terrible summer.
You also was good in the summer league. Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, eye test, man. I didn't see it with McCain. We see this. He has.
Well, no, McCain had a bad summer league. McCain had a terrible summer league.
I'm saying now I don't see it as McCain. Like, I see McCain as a role player, maybe hits the three for us, but the way that this kid controls his body, he's special.
I think he's got much more upside than McCain.
Yeah,
I agree with you athletically.
A very athletic player. Defensively, he's very rangy. He's bigger than his stats will measure.
He's got a stroke.
Yeah, he shot almost 40% from three. People seem surprised by that. He averaged over 5 attempts in Big 12 play, almost 40% from three. He can shoot just fine. People think that he can't shoot. I don't know why they didn't watch. I don't know.
That's why I'm excited, Amy. That's why I'm excited.
Get excited.
You are excited. Are you excited about Trey Turner at all?
Dude, Trey Turner, oh my goodness, man. I don't even know what to say about the Phillies. I mean, we don't have a bullpen. We don't have a pitching staff that's going to last in the playoffs anyway.
Oh, my God. You don't have a pitching staff that's going to last in the playoffs with the starting pitching you roll out there?
Wait. Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, and Zach Wheeler, and that's not a pitching staff you can roll out with?
No,
Stop it.
Now, listen, to get to the finish line, you need a bullpen. I get it. And they don't have it.
They've been okay. They were good when they had to pull Ranger after 5.
See, I get it, but they get away with it that game. But the Tanner Banks of the world don't float my boat. I'm sorry.
There's no doubt they're going to get somebody at the deadline.
You have to get to the ninth inning somehow.
They're going to get somebody at the deadline. They're going to get a reliever.
You think so?
Absolutely.
All right. Who are they going to trade?
Mick Abel.
Big prospect? Mick Abel? I'm not really taking him in a deal right now if I'm somebody else.
Yeah, people are going to see the kid's only 23. They're going to see a little bit
All
more
right. 610-632-0975. You can get to us. Love to chat, or we got our text board, which is loaded today. We'll get to that back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Zach Wheeler dazzles on Sunday. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in their series against the Cincinnati Reds with the win yesterday, 3-1. The score was Zach Wheeler was on the mound. He was spectacular. Wheeler threw a complete game, 1 hitter, 1 batter away from a perfect game. Unfortunately, that 1 hit was Austin Hayes, and he took Wheeler yard. Wheeler Sunday got a bit better after the game when he was named to the All-Star team along with teammate Kyle Schwarber. Notable Phils left off that roster, though. Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and the National League leader in hits, Trey Turner. What's the deal with that? The Phils hit the road tonight to begin a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 9:45. The Sixers began Summer League action over the weekend, and rookie VJ Edgecombe had an impressive Summer League debut. He went for 28 points on Saturday night against the Utah Jazz and Ace Bailey. Summer League action continues for the Sixers as they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at 7. And the Flyers continue to make moves this offseason as the team announced a 5-year contract extension for defenseman Cam York this morning. This update was brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
optimistic fan call us about BJ Edgecombe and what he's going to do in the league. Do we have overly optimistic 76ers fans? Because I'm reading a text here that I just got. Am I the only one feeling tides shifting about the 76ers? 1, developing young core. 2, top 5 front court in the league. 3, longest Embiid has rested since 2016. 4, PG had lots of time to rest. 5, Edwards and Bona only getting better. 6, Broom is legit. 7, East is wide open. How many of those do you agree with?
I do take I take exception with a couple of those things. The East being wide open to me has been problematic. I've heard that a lot.
Yes.
That's been really problematic for me. I get that it's more open, but
I agree. I totally agree.
Rested?
Are you better than anybody else in the East?
You just looked at the East and thought, yeah, I'm better than.
Right.
Give me 5 teams. Are you better than?
Exactly. Like how do you know?
Yeah.
Well, with what's coming back from what you did last year, how in the world do you see any upgrade? You don't
also,
see it yet.
I don't look at the Celtics and think, oh, just because you lost some of your.
Yeah.
This is Celtics. Come on.
The Magic got better. Like
Magic got better.
Him saying, or her, I don't know who texted in, rested. Embiid, we still don't know if he's going to be ready by training camp. Paul George missed half this season. He's not rested. He's hurt.
All right. Let's take them one at a time.
He's taken time off.
Developing young core.
Yeah.
Would you call it a young core yet?
They're developing young players. Well, they're the
they
core.
Have a couple of
they're
young
the core
players
because they might have to play a lot.
Well, yeah, but they have a couple of young players. That doesn't mean they have a young core, and you go, "Oh my God, look at this!"
Yeah, this is not like. I mean, Tyrese Maxey is still a young player. Let's be honest. So him, Jared McCain, VJ
Edgecombe, and Justin Edwards. That's your young core. Do you go? Do you go? Wow.
Well, we say Maxey's still young, and he is very much young in the grand scheme of things. But when you see Tyrese Halliburton drafted in the same draft as Maxey, take his team to a finals. When do you start putting that onus on a Maxey? Like, is it not until Embiid's not here anymore? Is that always going to be on Embiid until Maxey's the number one guy?
Right. Who's the number one guy in Indiana?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Who has been, right?
Yeah,
since he arrived there.
Let's take the second one.
I'll give you like
top
half
5
credit.
front court in the league. Front court being Embiid.
Stop.
PG.
Stop.
Oubre.
We don't even have a starting 4.
And you got the guy that you just got from the Nets. That's your front court. Not feeling that one?
That's
okay. Longest Embiid has rested since 2016.
Factually true.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean a thing.
There's a reason behind the rest.
Exactly. PG has had lots of time to rest and lots of time back on his podcast. No, you're swishing that away.
That's
Edwards and Bona
are only getting better. I will say that yes, that is true. I think they are only getting better.
Well, what does that mean?
You didn't ask what it meant. You just asked if it was true, and I said yes.
I'm getting better. They are. Statistically, you look at their trajectory, they obviously got a lot more playing time at Dembona and Justin Edwards, and I think there is a good upside. I think those are going to be really nice players. They're exceptionally young. They were 19 years old last year. These guys are 20, and now they're 20, 21. I think they are getting better. They're learning in the league. They had to learn on the fly last year, so I would say those guys are getting better. Broom is legit. Where do you see that? Where?
How do you know that?
Know? Wait, Broom is legit. Where do you see him play one game?
I didn't hear that when you initially said it. I must have blacked out. There's no way. There's no way.
All right, let me get this guy.
Doesn't mean you don't like Johnny Broom.
This guy is named Miz.
Well,
dude, seriously, Miz?
Listen, Janai Broom was a great fun player to watch, and I hope that Janai Broom can be a guy that you can use in the league because of the way he plays. He is a low post guy. That is where he operates. That is his cup of tea, and he does well at it. He's undersized for that position. No one really plays that traditional low post center here, right? Mm-hmm. It just doesn't happen. You just don't have that guy anymore. So hopefully he can operate and he does something good for you. I want him to rebound. That's what I want him to do. This team lacks rebounding. There you go. But I have to say what do they say, legit?
Broom is legit.
How do you know he's legit?
You don't know.
He was legit
at
in
all.
college. He was great
Come
at
on,
Auburn.
man. My man Miz here. Come on, Miz. Give me a call. Let's talk about this. It's 1 o'clock. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. You listen to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, let's move it back to the Phillies. The All-Star break is coming up soon. The Phillies, by most accounts, I think, with this fan base, they haven't gravitated all the way to the Phillies. Do you get that vibe that people are not as optimistic as maybe they should be?
I feel like there's like a good amount of fans that are just waiting for whether it's the second half of the season, whether it's September. They're just kind of waiting. They're following along. They're interested.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're locked in certain ways. But I feel like they're waiting. Like, I just don't want to go all in with you and get my heart crushed.
All right. Now, there's a stat that I brought this up for a reason. Because 4 teams have reached the World Series. 1980, the last 4 teams. 1980, 2008, 2009, 2022. In 1980, through 90 games, that team was 47-43. In 2008, the team that we all thought was fabulous, and in 2009. In 2008, 48-42. 2009, 52-38.
That was a great team.
Yes, it was. 2022, 47-43. The Phillies right now are 53-37. That's a better record than any of the 4 teams that reached the World Series.
Yeah, 22
Do
was
we
like
underappreciate?
But absolutely.
We're
But I think it's
underappreciating this
of-
team.
because of 2023 and 2024. That's why we're here. I think we're just not. I think it's people want to appreciate them, but they also don't want to. How many times do we hear at the beginning of the season? Well, I'm not going to pay attention, or I'm not going to be cheering until October. All right.
They don't believe in this
You can
team,
just
Amy.
enjoy it though. There's some people that are not enjoying it right now just because they're concerned about, like the guy said, like Turner's going to drop off after. Okay, you can't worry about tomorrow.
No, I don't look at the,
these,
who's going to drop off.
hypotheticals.
I look at are they good enough to actually compete in the playoffs with what they are right now? Most people don't believe they can. Right now, I don't either. I got to be honest with you. That doesn't mean I'm that pessimistic because there's still a deal to be made. Their bullpen and their left field production is not good enough for them to say, yes, they can get through the playoffs.
Yeah, get through the playoffs. I think you can win a series. I think you could win a playoff series with this team right now. Can you get all the way to the World Series with this entire team exactly how it's constructed right now? No.
Okay.
You don't have enough. You don't have enough power up and down.
The most valuable player here has to be Dave Dombrowski on what he can do. Because it's all up to him right now.
You need more pop in your outfield. I think they've been searching for different scenarios with it. I do like the fact that JT Realmuto has been hitting much better as of late. I think that's helpful. Obviously, Alec Boehm has turned things on. He's over 40 RBI after his really slow start. But the thing is, you need those guys to continue the trajectory, and they need the additional pieces. You can't have any drop off. You know what I mean? You can't have any drop off. You can't have anybody come back down to where they were to start the season.
All right. So right now, the Phillies would not get the bye.
They wouldn't be the
with
2
their
seed.
total. They would not be the 2 seed. The Dodgers and the Cubs right
the Cubs
now.
just had a monster season.
Yes, they did. They have 54 wins. The Phillies are the 3rd seed, which means they would play the 6th seed in the first round of the playoffs. And right now, the 6th seed is the San Diego Padres.
I thought it was the Padres. I thought I saw this graphic the other day. I like their chances against the Padres.
You do?
I do.
Okay, so the Mets would be the 4 seed. The Brewers would be the 5 seed, and the 6 seed. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Wow. The Giants have 49. They have more wins than the Padres, but the Padres are ahead of them. So the Padres, in percentage-wise, are ahead of them. The Phillies will play the Padres or the Giants, who they play tonight. So we'll
like
get
their
to see
chances in
them
both of those.
match me. You like them, both of them?
Both of those
Then they
series,
would have
yeah.
the games at home.
Yeah, I would like both of those series.
Okay, I like that too. So now the Mets and the Brewers.
Mets.
You like the Mets in that?
I do. Juan Soto's.
Okay. So the Phillies in the second round of the playoffs would play the Cubs.
Cubs. All right. I like their chances
You
there.
all right, so you like them to get to the NLCS.
I do.
But
I still need more pop. I need more pop in my outfield.
there are a lot of people who don't think that they would get to that NLCS.
But they've played those teams. And you have to remember, listen, I know they've had some power outages, and they've had it against some of those teams at times. Padres, obviously, we saw. Cubs, we've seen too. But 2-1, you can win a game 2-1. You have
Yes,
Zach
you
Wheeler.
can.
You have Ranger Suarez, and you have Christopher Sanchez. And I know that the bullpen hasn't been as solid, but I do look at the game. They just went out against a Reds team who is very good, right? As a very good hitting Reds team, is it not?
Uh-huh.
Ranger Suarez,
Yeah.
right? He only went 5 innings.
Yes.
Bullpen gave up.
Yep.
Nada.
Yeah, very rare, though.
It
I'm
is.
not
They-
ca-
not
I'm
even
not-
any walks,
I'm
though.
not counting
that
on
bullpen
that.
had no walks.
I get it. I'm not counting
4
on
guys.
it to get to the rest of the year.
No.
But here's the $1 million
They're also
question.
going to pick up a reliever.
Can they get there with Harper being what he is now?
No.
So this is the $1 million question.
But I don't know that he's going to be that guy. Right now, 3 weeks after.
Okay, but here's the bigger question. Will he be able to recover fully when he's got that problematic wrist situation where his swing is torquey? He struck out 4 times yesterday. I said this last week. When it's in your brain that it's going to hurt when you do a certain movement, your brain takes over. And maybe you're not the same swashbuckler. That's my biggest fear with Bryce Harper right now.
I hear you on that. My issue or my counter to that would be that when the lights are the brightest, this guy does tend to show up even more so.
He
no matter
does,
what.
but that's before an injury that hurts him every time he swings.
Yeah, but he had same injury last year, did he not? The wrist hurt him last year.
Did. The more it hurts, though,
Yeah.
the more your brain takes over.
Yeah, there is. And I think you see that with the you mentioned the torquey swing,
Uh-huh.
the little like hitch or whatever
Yep.
it is, trying to work through that.
I'm worried. 610-632-0975. Get back to our text board. We got Corey is up next. The Mike Missanelli Show continues. 111, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. Amy Fadul sitting in today. Ray Dunn is off. Brendan Gunn is in producing the show today, as we've been all over the map today. My lemon story kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Oh, sad.
It's funny because
sad,
we
just
have
like there's two lemons.
You have different audiences that listen to
when they
the
get
show. For the people who didn't hear my lemon caper, at the shore, a woman trying to carry 3 lemonades, big boardwalk lemonades, spills, one falls, and it spills out, and the cup is kind of, it's like she reacted quickly to try to pick up the cup quick, and she preserved some kind of liquid in the cup, which she then poured in the other 2 to top them off. But the ice and the lemon, and these were thick lemon slices. Like, I don't know how they make these lemonades, but these were like 1 inch thick lemon slices, and they fell on the floor, on the ground, the concrete, and she left them there. She kind of kicked the ice out of the way that fell, but she left the lemon there, and I'm sitting there when I'm watching this whole thing. And I'm really tempted to say, "Are you not going to pick up those lemons?" Amy would have handled it a little more delicately, right?
I would have just offered, kind of gave her a look like, "Hey, can
I help you with
can I get these for you?
Can I get these for you?" And she would have said, "Yeah."
Which
and
is
then
fine.
How would you have felt?
I would have picked up the lemons and thrown them away.
You would have.
I would have known that in the future she would have been like, people saw that. People saw.
You wouldn't have got any satisfaction out of your passive aggressiveness.
I would have, because later she would have thought about it.
Oh, she would have? You think a lady like that who would not pick up the lemons in the first place would think about guilt later?
I will say that you first started this story back in whatever time of frame it was. You described her as harried. Did you not?
Or you could use another word, sloppy.
Harried. She was frantic.
No, I don't think she was frantic. She
well,
was
that's
just.
What you used the word.
Well,
harried.
I did, and I probably misused the word. She was there waiting, I guess, for kids to come off this roller coaster. So, there was nothing that she should have been harried about.
All right. Well, she was. She was a little frantic. She dropped her lemonade.
Well, I'm curious to know the question I asked. How would you have handled it? Because I've been kicking myself that I didn't say anything.
We still got some more answers.
We do have some more answers?
We got Eddie in Annapolis checking in saying, I would have picked up those lemons and got a free cup of water and made my own lemonade because the boardwalk prices are out of control in 2025.
And what would you have done? Blown off the debris that was on the bottom of the lemon?
Yikes.
Start a new pandemic.
Boardwalk or cure one, not sure which.
You come back looking like Pauly D in The Situation after drinking a boardwalk lemon lemonade. Also got Uncle Frank checking in, says, I would have absolutely said something. My issue is I always get involved in things I don't have to get involved in, and my daughters deem me wrong.
Well, if you're in front of your daughter, I get it. Now, I was just there, and I was just waiting, and I was perturbed that the woman wasn't picking up the lemons. I was like getting obsessed with it. I kept looking at the lemons, looking at her, looking at the lemons, and in my mind I'm going, is she not going to pick those up? And so I was like in a state of flux.
I'm the weirdo though. Like if I'm at the store and I see like someone well before me has knocked off something from the shelf, I have to pick. It's like a compulsion. I have to pick it up and put it on the shelf.
They don't pick it up.
No. Even whether I saw
That's
them
terrible.
or not. Yeah,
see, I understand people. I really don't understand people. You knock something off.
Even if I didn't see them do it, I know someone must have done it. I have to pick it up.
Like this usually happens with peppers. At the
grocery store?
Yeah, like somebody will knock over a green pepper. And it'll go on the ground. And for some reason, they are thinking, well, I can't put the pepper, now it's dirty. I can't put the pepper back. So I will just leave it there for the custodial people, the workers, to pick it up.
Now that's a conundrum. What are you supposed to do in that situation?
It is a conundrum. Now, when I've done
and
that,
hope people remember that they need to wash their vegetables regardless.
Yes,
that is a fair point.
I usually give it a wipe myself if I knock something over. If it falls on the floor, I give it a wipe on my shirt or whatever and put it back. Because people don't know that it's a tainted pepper at that point.
You need to assume that everything has been featured in some kind of crate or floor situation. Okay?
So wait,
Wash it all.
It's tainted anyway, you're saying.
It's been on. There's no way it hasn't touched something, whether it's like a dirty crate,
A human hand with
people,
crud on it.
Come on,
Dirty
the floor is
fingernail
the least of your
hand.
concerns. You gotta wash it all.
We also got another texter chiming in saying, I would have been confrontational with this lady, made sure she looked at me, and then gave her the double bird like that lady that Mike drove by.
The lady gave me a double bird once. I'm usually confrontational like that myself because I'm perplexed as to how people think, and I think it's not their responsibility to pick up the damn lemon. But I didn't say anything, and I don't know why. I was just paralyzed.
You were fascinated.
What am I doing? Am I getting nicer? Am I changing?
Your heart grew 3 sizes that day. You didn't curse out a lady for dropping lemons.
Am I changing? I hate the fact that I'm changing.
We're going through
I want to know what the next
changes.
time that someone drops something in front of you. Are you just going to say it?
No, I can't. It tormented me. Now I have to say something. Now I can't go into passive Mike anymore. It's passive Mike is hurting me more than obnoxious Mike.
Passive, because you don't know what to do with passive Mike.
Well, exactly. I'm going, why was I so passive to the lemon situation?
Does a thought ever cross your mind where it's like, I want to call this lady out, but what if she is just truly having a bad day?
Yeah.
Like, what if her dog passed away earlier in the week and she's like, and has a mental breakdown? Then what do you do?
The bad day should not interfere with common courtesy. It's common courtesy that you caused the spill that people could trip on or slide on, and you're not going to pick it up. And I don't care how bad your day was.
And then not be held liable for it because it's on the pier, it's on the arcade or whatnot.
Exactly. All right, let's go to the phones. Corey's been checking in. Corey, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Corey?
Mike and Amy, what's happening?
What's happening?
Conversation is funny. It is
What's up, Corey?
Rule, when some fall on the ground, 10 seconds,
Put that right back up there.
I mean, like what goes through somebody's head? I dropped 2 fat ass slices of lemon, and I'm going to just leave them there. Like, what goes on with people?
I don't know. You're from the old school. Like, yeah, I would have picked them up too. But I wanted to call and touch on the Sixers because I think the gentleman that texted the information line, Miz, had some points. And I know everybody's skeptical, but I feel like they're trending in the good direction because they are young with the 4, Edgecombe, Maxey, Broom, and McCain. I just feel like, and Edwards, I just feel like, those guys are going to contribute at some point during the season when you least expect it. And you're going to need that through a long season. So in terms of a young core, I feel like they kind of are building that. And a lot of people sleeping on Brent. Listen, I've watched him the eye test. You talk about the eye test, Mike, a lot. I've watched him in college. I just feel like he's solid. He's going to give you a solid, maybe 10 to 12 points off the bench, or he could start if he knocked down 3 as a stretch 4.
Corey, let me just say this about Broom. I think Broom is going to get stomped on an NBA level because he's not a jumper. He's a 6'9", kind of a post. He's got good footwork down there. He reminds me of Zach Randolph, the way Zach Randolph played. But there are no Zach Randolphs anymore in this league.
Right. I agree. I definitely agree. So I just feel as though like he could be a slept-on player because if he hits the 3, what makes him no different than Missanelli? You see what I'm saying? To me, I think he's a younger version of that. And you know what I mean? And they thought that Charles was undersized when he came in the league. But then, Charles was athletic, which a lot of people didn't know. So I was just, I'm just looking at the glass like, look, it's there. It's right there in front of them. You play the game and let's see what happens. And then, who thought the Eagles was going to win the Super Bowl last year, really, after the year before? You see what I'm saying? So you just got to watch the games and see. But you can be critical. Don't get me wrong.
I appreciate your optimism. I don't share.
I will have the one quibble. He mentioned 3 points. Janai Broom does not shoot the 3-pointer.
No, he does not.
At all.
On a college level,
Ever.
he made a couple, but his percentage was 27%, I think.
How many did he ever take? Like 100 his entire career?
Yeah. Speaking of Zach Randolph, I happened to catch him. I thought Zebo this weekend. I'm floating around, right? and it's the Penn State basketball special on the Big Penn 10 Network. I go, well, let me tune in here. I got Penn State. What could this be? Well, they won the Big Ten championship over Michigan State in 2000. The Crispin brothers, who were from Jersey, played for Penn State at the time. Like Joe Crispin was a high scorer, and I'm looking at who they beat. Michigan State had Jason Richardson and Zach Randolph on that team, and Penn State beat them. It was like, well, I can see why they're showing this.
Question.
This is one of the few Penn State triumphs ever in basketball. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Wheeler dazzles on Sunday. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in their series against the Cincinnati Reds with a 3-1 win yesterday. Zach Wheeler was on the mound, and he was spectacular. Wheeler threw a complete game, 1 hitter, 1 batter away from a perfect game. Unfortunately, that 1 hit was a home run by a former friend, Austin Hayes. Boo. Wheeler Sunday got a little bit better. After the game, he was named to the All-Star team along with teammate Kyle Schwarber. Notable Phils left off that roster, though, include Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, and the National League hit leader Trey Turner. What's the deal with that? The Phils hit the road tonight to begin a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 9:45. The Sixers began Summer League action over the weekend, and rookie first-round pick VJ Edgecombe had an impressive Summer League debut. He went for 28 points on Saturday night against the Utah Jazz and Ace Bailey. Summer League action continues tonight for the Sixers. They're set to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7. And the Flyers continue to make moves this offseason. The team announced a 5-year contract extension for defenseman Cam York earlier this morning. This update was brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's, and right now you'll find the latest summer styles for all under $25 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find at Macy's Backstage. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yeah, Mike Missanelli show. The guy just sent me a photo of him winning a plushie on the Wildwood Boardwalk. The water guns.
See?
The mounted water guns, though.
told
See, I
you.
don't play the mounted ones.
That's what Wildwood Boardwalk has. It's mounted. You can't pull out the little.
No. I found it. I was there recently.
At the Wildwood Boardwalk?
Uh-huh.
I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to go
I
hunting.
found one. I don't mess with the mounted ones. I don't mess with those machine gun types.
Yeah. You just
No.
aim it.
I get the pistol. The pistol stretch ones. I find them. They still exist. But my man won an eagle. See this here? He got a nice plushy eagle. And he said he won it for his nephew. He said, I told him it was for my nephew. He's 18.
No, that guy's going.
So
That eagle is now proudly sitting on his couch.
He took the eagle. He's going to use that very well during Eagle Sundays. All right, let's go back to the text board. Lots of Turner texts.
Yeah, we got, who is this one from? Come on. All right, C in Bucks County checks in saying Trey Turner has not lived up to that $300 million contract. I don't care about regular season production. What has he done in the playoffs in his time here? He's disappeared when they needed him the most. If Mike wants to laud Turner for regular season production, that's fine. For that money, it's inexcusable that he's come up so small every year.
See, again, everything is relative, okay? Now, if he comes up small in the postseason, then you have a reason why you dislike him. Right now, you don't have that reason. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and he should be an all-star, and people should be concerned why he.
It's like you can't project or look back and go, well, he doesn't do this, and he's going to do this in the playoffs. And that's fine. When that moment arrives, then I wouldn't be as hard on you.
Right, but right now you have to take what we're seeing right now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He deserved to be an all-star. All the metrics say he should be an all-star, and he got hosed, and nobody here cares that much because he's unpopular. And my question is, why is he the least popular good player we've ever had? All right, what else you got?
We also got somebody checking in on this conversation. Says, I think the huge indifference toward Trey Turner is not making the towards Trey Turner not making the All-Star game is despite offensive stats being great this year. He has never gotten over that bad first impression when he struggled both offensively and defensively when he arrived here inside that big contract.
Again, everything is relative. It's like, well, are you paying attention now? Or are you paying attention to the past when he failed? Or are you paying attention to the future where you think he's going to fail? Like, where are you? Live in the moment.
That's what it is.
You got to live in the moment.
Now they're not doing that.
We also got somebody defending him now. He says, Ellie De La Cruz, who's on the All-Star team, has 12 errors this year. Trey Turner has 7. And all you hear is people crying about how all Trey Turner does is butcher it at shortstop. Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
You know what it is? People don't pay attention enough. They form an impression. Like he, at one point, had a problem defensively. So it's like, they give no time for recovery in this town. It's like, well, early on he couldn't, so he must be a terrible fielder. You're not paying attention. You got to live. Baseball is an everyday thing. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got Ryan checking in from Morristown. Ryan, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, buddy?
Mikey Miss, what's up?
How you doing?
It's funny. I'm doing well. I remember the Crispin brothers, Joe and John Crispin, right?
Yeah, there you go. They're from where in Jersey?
Yep.
Where in Jersey were they from?
Pittman.
That's right, Pittman, New Jersey.
Pittman, New Jersey. Yeah,
That's correct.
They're South Jersey basketball royalty right there.
Now, John is an announcer now. He's actually pretty good as a color analyst.
Yep, no doubt about it.
He went to UCLA, believe it or not, at first. John Crispin went to UCLA and then transferred back to Penn State because his brother played.
That's right, yep. Now, do you remember the Earl brothers, Dan and Brian Earl?
Oh, yeah, one went to Princeton, right?
Yeah, and that point guard, Penn State. Dan Earl was
one went to Penn State, one went to Princeton. Look at that Jersey brother royalty out there.
That's right. And Dan Earl's the head coach of Tennessee Chattanooga and NIT champions.
Is he really? Good for the Earls.
Yep. There we go.
The Dukes.
Anyway, baseball, Phillies. Okay, Schwarber and Ranger. I want to sign them. I think it's kind of a must. Obviously, the money needed is going to be a challenge, right? You think they're going to pull both of them off end of the year? How about this? Aaron Nola. Trade. Move that salary. Move it to Ranger. I mean,
How are you
Where,
going to?
where is the salary going?
Yeah, how are you going to trade Aaron Nola with that kind of salary?
No. Well, no, I'm saying a team. Basically, you see the Baltimore Orioles. They're atrocious pitching.
Yeah, you're missing my point, Ryan.
Hurt.
Ryan, he makes a lot of money.
Okay. The salaries don't have to match up. They just got to take
No,
the salary, right?
Right.
Well,
the Orioles don't
Right?
pay anybody.
I
You think
mean,
they're going to pay a guy that's been injured half the year?
I'm just saying that the demand for starting pitching is so great that some will definitely take that contract.
I don't think so.
That's my assumption.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Okay, but
He's making $25 million. He's in his 30s now.
I do think there are contracts that are movable, but Orioles are not one of the teams that are going to take it. I'm saying you could probably move
It's
it.
not Orioles. Orioles is more representation of how bad the starting pitching is. They got a pretty nice team offensively. Their starting pitching stinks, and that's
why
kind
their
of the
manager
team
got
in the
fired.
major leagues right now.
Yeah, there's not a lot of teams that have that kind of money, though.
I get it.
He's not
Either
good
way,
enough to
Nola
attract you
Ranger.
to pay that kind of money.
You know what? I disagree. I mean,
I think somebody might take
He's
it.
been one of the best in
Really?
major leagues.
Yeah.
I agree too. And then all of a sudden that frees up the money for Ranger, and then we get Schwarber and Ranger long term, and that makes so much more sense next 5 years or so. So
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. We'll
I
see.
hear you.
We
Now,
will
listen,
see.
you have good ideas. I don't think that they're going to be able to sign Ranger, and I think it's a must that they sign Schwarber. And Schwarber said, what did he say about the home run derby was an indication? Didn't he say something?
Yeah, he
like,
said, I'm not thinking about it this year, but next year there might be something to think about, meaning in front of the hometown crowd.
Because it's in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So that was like a tip-off. I think he wants to stay here.
I think
they
he
would
definitely
be
wants to stay here.
crazy to allow a 40 home run guy out. Of the
He is exceptionally well liked both in the clubhouse and with the fans. I can tell you from people I know that live in Chicago, they love him there still. They would
really.
welcome him back in a
He's such a
heartbeat.
commodity that you can't afford to not
You can't let
sign
him.
him.
You got to come back.
All right, let's take a break. And Newman on the other on the other side wants to talk about the pepper at the supermarket, which is outstanding. Newman, hang in there. And meanwhile, 610-632-0975, the Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
Damiani approaches.
Show 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm going to pass on what I think is a pretty good bet right now. The NL Cy Young odds. The favorite, prohibitively, is Skeens at minus 140. However, he's only been throwing 5-inning outings. They get him out of there quick. Zach Wheeler is second at plus 105. I think that's the bet.
Good bet.
I think it's a really
Corbin Burns got him on the Cy Young a couple of years ago, averaging 5 innings. It's a joke.
Yeah, I think this is the year that Zach Wheeler gets it. Logan Webb at plus 1,800. Christopher Sanchez at plus 2,200. And Ranger Suarez at plus 4,500.
That was an order. You didn't skip anybody?
Nope.
And they're not all-stars?
Yeah. Well, Sale's going to be replaced, right? Chris Sale hasn't been replaced yet. He's on the injured list, so I would think
maybe Ranger
Sanchez or Ranger would get the
one of
call
them
there.
gets a shot. Rangers have been so dominant. I mean, Sanchez is solid every time out.
There's only been 12 starts for Ranger. I think that's the only knock.
Yeah.
His ERA is ridiculously
It is
low.
ridiculous. All right, let's go back to the phones. Newman from Conshohocken. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Newman? Newman?
You get it?
Hello? Newman?
We wanted to talk about the peppers.
Where are you, dude? We want to talk about the pepper.
peppers. Mike's dying to talk about them.
Oh, man.
The answer is you pick it right back
Hey,
up.
he's got to be there. He's not, like, dropped.
No, yeah, it says it's on.
Oh, all right, man. I'll just put you on hold. We'll see if we can get
See
him.
if he comes back through.
We'll see if we can get him. Meanwhile, let's go back to the text board because we have a text saying that somebody is happy that more Phils didn't make the All-Stars.
I know this argument. I know this argument. But they chimed in last week.
Get out.
Wait, before you get to it, B-Gun, is it because they had so many last year and they fell off? They don't want to have a lot of All-Stars because that way they're going to be better in September.
That's exactly what it says. I don't even have to read it.
Rest.
That's exactly what it says.
There was a take just like that, and I remember thinking, what?
Yeah, we got Dana in Chester Springs says, last year I voted for all these players. This year I didn't vote at all because last year they went to the All-Star game and all fell off. They need to rest up for the postseason.
It's not exactly strenuous to go to the All-Star game.
We've
You
seen
get
it,
to
right?
travel, you hang around.
I get why maybe Kyle Schwarber doesn't want to do the home run.
Yeah,
I get that.
because that'll
That
exert
is
yourself.
exhausting.
But you're only going to play a couple innings. It's like you take the family. It's just like you're home anyway. You're hanging out with the family and you're doing that kind of stuff.
Little workouts.
Yeah. All right. Come on, man.
I remember that from last year. I remember
else?
that was last week.
We also got somebody checking in saying the hat at the press conference is a huge part of why I hate Trey Turner.
Wow.
So I had to look this up because I did not remember.
I didn't
remember the
remember
press
it either.
conference. He did say that he wasn't going to put the hat on, and he joked about it. He was laughing, like saying, "Ha ha!" He had just gotten his hair cut, for the fresh look.
Yeah, that's weird that he would say something like that and not put the hat on.
Like every
It's
press
weird.
conference ever, you button the jersey up and
I
tilt the
didn't
hat
really
down.
take inventory of that. That's probably something that would have bugged me had I taken inventory of it.
It's just weird because it's not like an Eagles player and he doesn't put the hat on because he's not used to. This guy wears a hat every day of his job.
Yeah, like what?
Every day.
I don't get the pretty boy act at that point. Maybe that's
He had
what
a
did
good
it.
Slow day.
And I know a lot of people took exception to him thanking his in-laws before he thanked his actual parents in his speech.
He did?
Yes.
Man, how do you remember all this stuff? Where was I during that press
You know
conference?
what he doesn't remember?
What?
What, I wasn't alive?
He doesn't remember 93 Phillies and Kurt Schilling, but
Sorry,
I
you
remember
gotta
all
have-
these little minutia details.
I was here breathing.
All right, what else? What else we have?
All right, we got Norman Mayfair checking in saying the main thing for this Phillies team is winning in the playoffs. Turner's disappeared both of those, so I don't care what he does in the regular season. I'll see you in October.
That's been the mentality.
right.
That is the mentality
got it.
though. Why you're wondering like people aren't like super like all in on this team right now. That's the similar mentality.
I mean,
Just
to
waiting
a
for the shoe
point,
to
I
drop.
get the fear in Philadelphia because of the years of losing and being gun shy about stuff. But it's like you look at it day to day, man. I look at this
You
like
should be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, I look at it day to day. Do I think the Phillies are going to go to the World Series? I do not think they're going to go to the World Series. But the way I line it up, like they're a solid playoff team right now, and they got a chance to win 2 series, maybe. I don't know.
Saying there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this theme of text continues. It says, I think the disconnect with Turner, I'll be off not fair, is that he was sold as the final piece to get over the hump with this team, yet they're somehow going backwards.
All right, listen. For my money, he's the least popular good player that we've ever had here. I rankle when it's like you don't appreciate the good players. And you appreciate the dummies. Like, yeah, we appreciate so many dummies in this town. It's like when somebody actually has real talent, we don't appreciate it. Drives me nuts. The mediocrity we love in this town. Let's see if Newman's here. Newman, are you there?
That's so disappointing.
Newman! All right, let's make up what he would have said about the pepper.
He would have said you had to go find a manager and show the produce manager and show them the pepper that was on the ground. No, he's definitely going to say he just put it right back up.
We did have some scumbag text in saying the answer to that conundrum about the pepper, you don't know to put it back in the rack or not. He says, I make it nobody's problem. I kick it underneath where the janitor can't even see it and let it go to waste.
A lot of people do that. A lot of people do the kick.
No, that's a no. That's an absolute violation.
I've seen somebody do the kick.
What?
Now, I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I'll take the pepper that I dropped. I'll select it. I'll use that. I'll take that.
Because you know you're going to go home and wash it.
Right. Even if I'm not buying a pepper, though. Like if I
So you're picking up peppers to look at.
If I mistakenly knock over a pepper, I usually will buy it.
I thought you were admiring the peppers.
Yeah,
just like this is a beautiful pepper.
I don't really want one.
Well, there are some peppers that are beautiful.
This is a nice
but
pepper.
I will say, I wasn't shopping for pepper, but I'll make stuffed peppers, and so I'll take that one that I felt and another one. Oh.
Now, do you think I make stuffed peppers all the time too. Do you think there's a difference with the colors? Like if you get like an orange one, a red one.
Oh yeah.
Do you taste the difference?
Yes,
absolutely. The orange and red ones are sweet.
The green is a completely different vibe than the yellow or the orange.
Yeah.
I think I'm just realizing this because I had a palate of a 10-year-old.
They're sweet.
Oh yeah.
They're sweeter than the green.
Green.
Yeah, I mean, I just used to eat chicken fingers all the time. So now that I'm actually expanding my palate, I'm these taste different.
Is Newman back? Is Newman?
Is he?
He is.
Oh, please.
Newman is back on the line.
Give us your pepper take, buddy.
But he's not registered.
Over
yet,
under,
right?
he was on mute and didn't know how to get himself out.
Oh.
I mean, it was dead silence, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but he was on
dead
the air.
silence.
All right, he's ready.
Oh, we got him now? Oh, Newman, I can't wait for this call. Newman, are you with us?
Hey, Mike.
Newman, what happened?
I got disconnected here.
All right. you were not. I think you were on the mute button.
No, I got disconnected. You're a menace to society, Mike. You know that, right?
I'm a menace to society.
Yeah.
Why
what
is
is the
that?
pepper take?
Do you know how disgusting the floor of a supermarket is with people walking with the bottoms of their shoes and walking in bathrooms and cracking all that
I do.
stuff on the floor?
I do.
And then you're going to put a pepper on the floor, put it right back on the shelf for an unsuspecting civilian to eat.
No, I said I would clean it first.
Clean it with your shirt. That's not killing any germs.
I would rub it. Well, I would take the dirt off of it.
How long?
But I also just revised it, and I said normally I will buy that pepper.
But also, how long has it been on the floor?
Exactly, it's the 5-second test.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. No, Newman. It absolutely matters.
All right, so Newman, what is your move here if you knock over a pepper?
And it's instantly on the floor, and you pick it up within 2 seconds. You leave it?
You gotta tell one of the people in the produce section.
That's what you do?
You know?
Do you take him the pepper, or you just go and point it out and say, yo, there's a pepper over there?
You know what they're going to do?
Nothing.
They're going to get a towel or wipe it and put it back just like I did.
They'll throw it right in the garbage.
No, they won't.
Throw it right in the garbage.
Why would they throw it in the garbage? It's a perfectly good pepper.
Also, if you just knocked it over, wouldn't you pick it up instantly?
They would assemble all those fallen peppers and take them over to Produce Junction, where you get a big bag for $1.
Maybe. But there's not enough cleaning to kill those kind of things.
All right, so your move is you call the custodian over, the produce man who's stacking the produce, and you tell him there's a fallen pepper?
Exactly.
All right.
Handle it.
Listen, I don't, not against your idea there, but I just think it's a lot of commotion for no reason.
If you just knocked it over and it had been on the ground for 5 seconds.
We got to take care of everybody.
You're going to wash the pepper regardless.
Let me ask you a question.
It's got pesticides on it.
Exactly. You got to wash it when you take it home. So let me ask you a question. You a produce shopper a lot?
Yes.
All right. So will you buy the loose green beans or the bag green
Yes.
beans?
If I can get the bag, I'll get the bag. If they're not available, I'll get the loose.
So you go bag first.
Of course.
Why?
Sanitary reasons.
You know,
well,
these
you're
are
Mr.
grown.
Sanitary
They're
over
grown
here, Newman.
in the dirt, right? You realize that, right? These are all produce that are like developed in dirt. They have dirt on
so
them.
you'll go bag because they're cleaner. Do you wash in the bag? Do you wash them anyway?
No, I'll go right from the bag into the pan.
Really?
Strong.
Yes.
Well, I admire that. You stick to your guns at least.
Okay.
One last question. The mushrooms. Do you get the loose mushrooms or do you get the ones that are already packaged?
Already in the package.
Wow.
Please tell me you wash those.
All right.
Because those are not washed. Yeah. Because
yeah, I'm a looseman.
no, I'll do the
I usually
package,
choose-
but those still
yeah.
have dirt on it.
See, the green beans is a ripoff. The green beans in the bag is way more expensive than the loose ones. And so are the mushrooms. Like I only need a couple mushrooms, so I like buy 4 mushrooms.
Oh, see, no,
the loose ones.
Lots of mushrooms.
You're a mushroom person? Yeah.
If I'm making it, a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah. I usually don't need that.
That's a solo thing.
Newman's solution. Wouldn't you just rather just buy the pepper and call it a day for $1 or $2
Like we've all
than
been in
go
the
out of
produce
your way?
department. Like you're finding the person, and also is he leaving it on the ground while he goes to find the produce person?
Yeah, and that guy's not happy. He's like, I'm just
What
here
do
to
you want me
collect
to
my
do,
couple
guy?
of bucks.
Look, I'm just trying to stack it up, and you messed my job up.
He's gonna kick it underneath the thing.
He's going to throw it at Newman.
To be honest with you, I'm offended by the bagged veggies. I just started during COVID, right? You bag everything. And now it's like a cottage industry. Newspapers.
I was like, wait,
Supermarkets cut corners. What did I say? How did newspapers
I don't
come
know.
out? Supermarkets cut corners by using all those bag stuff, like broccoli. Loose broccoli is the greatest. And they bag the broccoli now.
Yeah, no, that's
You
silly
get-
to me.
What,
'Cause
bagging the broccoli?
Just go get the head of broccoli.
I love the broccoli crowns. I go with the broccoli crowns.
I just like buy the
I don't
whole head of
stalk it.
broccoli.
You do? You buy a whole head?
Mm-hmm.
You don't go crowns?
Whole head.
Really? So do you cook the stalks also?
You can. It's actually really good for broth.
The stalks? Yeah. Look at you, Amy. We're finding out some
Fun fact.
like home
You're
stuff.
making like a good
You make a lot of broth, do you?
No, but if I was making something that had like I'm not gonna leave them in there. But yeah, if you shave, it's a really flavorful way to add a little stuff. Like to add broccoli in there. You know how like if you're ever making something that is any kind of like liquid base, like a broth base, if you put broccoli in there, it's gonna get all loosey, and then you just have the little broccoli things. That's why you have to put broccoli in late, any kind of cream based or whatever.
Yeah.
But another way to get the broccoli taste, if you like that, is to use the stalks and then you take them out like a bay
I'm not
leaf.
crazy about the broccoli taste. Like I don't know if I want my soup tainted by the
Well, if
broccoli
it's
taste.
broccoli cheddar soup, you're already putting broccoli.
It's a broccoli soup.
You know what I mean? You're already putting broccoli in there, so you must like broccoli somewhat.
Okay. All right. I'll have to. I'm not as cream soup man.
No, I'm not either. It would be a vegetable soup.
You like a nice bisque?
I'm
Like
not
a
a bisque. I'm
lobster
not a
bisque?
bisqueman.
Lobster bisque?
No, I'm
Crab
not a
bisque?
chowder.
Good.
I'm not a chowder or a bisque.
Lobster bisque is pretty.
Not at all. Like so.
No, I don't do lobster bisque. I don't.
Now, would you consider tomato soup a cream kind of thing?
Tomato soup that's probably where I draw the line.
That's a good soup.
Yeah, I'm a tomato soup.
That's a good
soup fan.
Like, what do you like then? Chicken noodle?
I like
Delicious.
a broth, like a vegetable broth, or like a beef barley or a chicken broth. Like I'm not a creamy guy. Anytime you put cream in a soup, it messes me up.
That's fair.
Unless it's tomato soup.
Unless it's tomato soup.
But that's not a cream
you know,
based
my
soup,
mother
it's
used to.
tomato-based soup.
You know how you occasionally eat the Campbell's canned soup, and you make that.
Yeah.
My mother used to make it with milk instead of water, and I hated it.
Yeah, that sounds actually really awful.
Yeah, it creams it up. It's like nah.
Yeah, it's more like you got to put a little bit in there just to make it come together. It's really a tomato-based soup.
I'm a water with the tomato can soup.
Or chicken broth.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Bobo.
You
Hi, Ricky.
can't beat that combination. Yeah, here comes Ricky.
Ricky Bo, just starting to take over. He can't hear us.
And Colarulo is out there.
Bill's been here since 10 a.m.
He's orchestrating his lemon lawsuit.
Exactly. He's been here since 10 a.m.
That's what the whole show is, he said. The lemon lawsuit.
Exactly. The
unfiltered.
lemon lawsuit. All right, anyway, the Giants and the Phillies tonight. And the Phillies are at minus 135. down from minus 155. Is it a violation for me to bet the Giants tonight?
Yes.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When it comes to money and your own finances,
You just like it because the moves. It's the lines.
the
moved.
line moved. When the line moves, it tells me a little something. Anyway, thanks for listening to the show. We appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for Amy being here. It's always a pleasure. Stay tuned for Unfiltered. That's coming up next. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.